to go. What is that app called again?
What app?
It makes it so that I can see all the chats from every single
Like Restream?
Yeah, I use Restream.
This is pretty good. Christ.
All right, so I should be good now. Yep, I am good. Hey guys, Sithis here. I know it's been a real long while since I've been live streaming. Oh. My bad. Hey guys, Sithis here. You know, it's been a long time since I've been live streaming and all that. And, but I'm back for a little while, you know. I'm gonna stream here with my friend Cam. You know, he's a friend of the stream, you know, always around. And basically, you know, I'm just gonna do the same old thing, you know, just go into the Discord this is the politics and religion Discord, and hope some people jump in and debate us about stuff. And while I'm doing that, I am going to be playing some World of Warcraft Classic, but the reason I'm playing Classic is, as opposed to TBC, is because I kind of just like Classic better. And yeah, and I want to see how far I can make it, you know. So I'm thinking I'm gonna play my dwarf warrior. And yeah, that's pretty much that. We're just gonna wait until people join, and that's hopefully will be soon. And hopefully it'll be cool people and not annoying assholes.
It's like a good chance that they are the latter. But
yeah, that's generally how it goes, you know, but what can you do? And my thing, it says capitalists.
Yeah, I noticed it.
I changed it a bunch of times, but it just hasn't
What stays that? Why does it stay?
It just stays it. So I'm just dealing with it for now, I guess.
I see. That's weird.
I feel like most people will probably see it and they'll be like, "Oh, it's capitalist." Probably.
I don't think like. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like upwards of like 60% of people don't even read like the room title. Like I swear people will join and it's like as if they didn't even read the room title because they like have no idea what's going on. They like seem to have no idea like I don't know why they don't just like look at the room title.
Oh hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up? So I have a couple questions. So like let's say that there's a dead tree on my neighbor's property. And let's assume perfect knowledge that it says like a 10% chance of falling down annually. In anarcho-capitalism, would I be justified in trespassing on my neighbor's property and cutting it down, given that I assent to paying any damages in private law court?
I'm pretty sure it would have to damage your property first before you can like do anything.
Right, but I could obviously enter the property, and assuming I have more force, I could cut the tree down, and then I could just pay the court the fine, right? That'd be okay.
You could do that. Well,
I mean, you could do that, but it wouldn't really follow the ethics of and libertarianism, because us libertarians don't believe in, cutting someone's tree down before they've committed any aggression. Like, you know, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's kind of why we have to add risk in, right? Because like when we're looking at behavior, like let's say that I'm just sitting in front of my yard and I'm just shooting my shotgun at the air above
Equals
your house, right?
NEZHNA
I might
com.
not be intending to hurt you, but obviously there's a chance one of those pellets falls down or I miss and I hit you or your property, right? So in that case, I guess you would also say that like you're not justified in stopping me.
I mean, how much risk there needs to be to justify, you know, some sort of, you know, self-defense? I couldn't really give you a hard answer on that. All I could really tell you is that unless there's like some sort of like measurable damage being done to you by the other person, then I can't see why you would, you know, preemptively attack them unless there's like sufficient evidence that they are about to like legitimately shoot you. Now, how much evidence you need in order to prove that is, I mean, I can't really answer that either.
This is all kind of subjective, right? But
well,
the
it's
main
determined
point
by
would be
courts,
is that, like,
you know,
conceivably, you could perceive a situation where your property or your person is being threatened by someone else's, and you could act upon that. And you might nominally aggress, but as long as you compensated the party for aggression, you know, at the end of the day, it'd all be kosher, right?
well, you could take a risk in trying to stop. If you think that someone's about to shoot you, and you take the risk and go out and
it's very
stop another
contextual and
person.
line drawing is hard.
Obviously, a lot of this stuff is very contextual, but if a person is there is a line between what you call threatening threatening somebody and then not threatening somebody. Now, where that line is, I mean, it's going to depend on each situation. Like, I couldn't give you a solid answer on every situation. All I can really tell is if somebody is about to shoot you, yeah, you would have the right to. But if that person wasn't about to shoot you and then you like disrupted that property, then you would owe that person money because then you've initiated force against them when they haven't done any force against you.
Right. No one's arguing against the fact you have to compensate. But so let's say theoretically we had anarcho-capitalist legal system. There's really two outcomes, right? Like either the firms cooperate with each other, or they don't. So I'm assuming you would assume the former.
It is also
sure
proportionate to the amount of harm you are
But I
suggesting
would say
in
they would be more
self-defense.
incentivized to than otherwise.
They would probably, you know, follow the same body of laws and procedures with evidence as the other firms.
Yeah, as to avoid, you know, risks and unneeded conflicts.
So at that point, you kind of have a state, right? Because they all share the same law. There's a monopoly of law in a geographical area.
No,
What do you mean it's a monopoly on law?
a monopoly on, like, okay, so like if a group of people, all the people who decide to protect other people choose to adopt the same law, that does not mean that they have a monopoly on law. A monopoly on law would mean that they would be restricting you from adopting your own law. So let's say if I'm on my own property and I decide not to have a subscriber or be subscribed to a business, they would not have the right to stop me from enforcing my own property rights, which would not be, that would be the opposite of having a monopoly on law. Whereas the state would force me to follow their laws, even if I'm not, even if I don't support their.
That's fine, right? But I mean, at this point, all the other entities in this area are under the same body of law and same procedures of law, and you've just declared, I have a different system of law. And you know, as long as there's no conflict, I don't think there's an issue.
There's not a monopoly on adjudication. That's like a main thing, right? Like, there's no central authority telling you, you know, what procedures you have to follow to be in the business of adjudication.
There is. So you have this polycentric legal system which arrives at the same legal.
Wait. What do you mean What do you mean by poly?
So I mean, maybe you haven't read Randy Barnett, and that's okay, right? But polycentric just means like basically spontaneous, bottom up, with multiple different firms operating, right? But like any market, and especially in like ANCAT fantasy land,
I understand
like,
polycentric to mean like different like
Are you
laws.
yeah, I get the
Different
point
legal
that is being
systems.
made. If you don't mind, what I would say fundamentally is a monopoly on law again is not
I
merely
don't know
that
if
a
you
lot
do
of
get the
people.
point, right?
Hold on, excuse me.
So,
Excuse
like
me, sir.
maybe
I was just about to
Synthesis,
answer your
I haven't
question.
even been
I was
able
literally
to-
about to rebuttal to what you were just about to say. So
You don't know what was I about to say?
you were just going into about how a polycentrism in law leads to about all the companies standardizing and basically following one law set, thus creating a quote-unquote monopoly on law. The issue with that argument again is that a monopoly on law would mean that you would be restricting other people who are not subscribed to your
Yeah,
service
so that's what I'm
from
trying to answer.
whoa, excuse me. I'm just about to answer your question. So what I was going to say before you interrupted was that a monopoly on law would be forcing other people to follow your law even when they don't want your services, right? That's restricting competition. If there are a bunch of companies that are standardizing and following the same law, but they're not restricting me from following my own law on my own land and my own property, well then they're not a monopoly because they're not restricting my access
so I
to
already
competition.
answered those, right? So you're just not tracking, that's fine. But what I said was simple, is like, yeah, you're right, you wouldn't be restricting someone, but in the case of a conflict, that would occur, right? So every other law enforcement entity in this area follows the same procedures and follows the same laws. They cooperate together in all cases, and they essentially have one entity of law. And the reason why they're not a monopoly to you is that they're not imposing this on everybody else. You could technically have your own body of law. But if your body of law does not use the same procedures or same legal concepts as this polycentric collection of law firms does, they're not going to deal with you. They're going to compel you to use their procedures. Otherwise, they're going to view you as a rogue agent, right? There's no incentive for them to cooperate with you unless you concede to the majority legal framework in that area.
Okay, so there's a difference between a person enforcing their will upon you, right? And you just not following what is the majority's opinion, right? So let's say a large portion of the companies are following one set of law, right? But they're not restricting me from setting my own law on my own land, right? That would not be a monopoly. That would not be a monopoly because they're not restricting me from whoa. What's going on here?
Resolution is a monopoly, right? Because if you have any disagreement with this larger entity, you're not going to be able to use your procedures. You must concede to theirs.
Whether or not I have the ability to use my force to adjudicate with them is irrelevant. What is relevant here is whether what is relevant here is whether or not there's a monopoly. That was your claim. And my argument is that there is not a monopoly, and the reason why there's not a monopoly is because there's no restriction of competition, thus allowing me to compete with them. Just because I'm not able to succeed against that competition does not mean that there is no competition. Or just because you think I won't be able to succeed against that competition means that there is no competition. Thus, destroying your whole argument that there would just be monopolistic
You're very
law.
confused, right? Like, obviously states don't descriptively stop all conflicts and all competition, but it's just that they are, at the end of the day, capable of doing so. So, like,
but they
currently
do
in the United
that.
States, right now, there's probably people sitting around in their basements, role-playing as judges and making laws. There's anarcho-capitalist legal scholars that are prescribing legal solutions. And that's in America, right? They don't respect America's law. They have their own legal systems, but it's still a state, right? Because something being a state or being an effective monopoly of force in a geographic region relies on power projection, on capabilities. And at the end of the day, just like the polycentric illegal amalgamation of firms, the United States government is capable of putting down these other entities if there's a conflict between the two or if they have the desire to do so. So it doesn't really matter, KingSithis, if you think that Dan on his farm can have his own system of law, because the system of law only exists insofar as the polycentric legal system permits it to exist, and insofar as it does not come into conflict with them. So,
yeah, you're conceding my whole argument, which is essentially that I didn't interrupt you. Your argument was that under a polycentric legal system, every single business would standardize, which I don't really see really happening. And two, even if they would standardize, it would just become a monopoly, which is not necessarily true. The only way that it would become a monopoly is if it stopped other people from competing with them. But under a polycentric legal system, there would be nothing, I mean, unless it became a state or a criminal organization, there would be nothing stopping you from starting your own legal system, competing with that business, thus making it impossible for there to be a monopoly. The only way there would be a monopoly is if there's somebody in some sort of criminal organization that is forcibly stopping other people from going into that competition, thus creating monopolies. That is why I am against states. That's why I don't support states.
But I disagree. I don't think you have a good conception of what states are. So.
Right. That's you're more than welcome
the
to
issue
think
with that being is that you're saying that the way for a state to exist is if nobody in that area can claim to have a different legal system. When that's
there's a difference between a criminal organization, right, and then a legitimized criminal organization.
Right, but we can see the incentive here is, I'm sure you would agree, this is an anarcho-capitalist argument, is that majority of firms are going to standardize procedures and legal
Do I think
frameworks
that every single firm is going to have the same exact law? No, absolutely not. There's hundreds of different people with different ideas of how... Wait, whoa. There's hundreds of different cultures with different ideas on how they should settle disputes. The whole idea that every single polycentric business is going to standardize and have the same law all across the board. Yeah, I just don't see that ever happening.
Right, so that's why at the start of the conversation, I gave you an option. You could choose A, where firms do cooperate, or B, where firms do not always cooperate.
Yeah, but there's,
So
if you've read anarcho-capitalist literature like you said you have, there are ways in which companies with different sets of law are able to settle disputes without violence.
Really?
I could actually send you many books that can
Well,
show
I've
you.
definitely read more than you.
Well, then if you read more than me, then I don't see why you would even ask me such a dumb question.
There's a firm that believes evictionism to be a logical conclusion from property ethics. There's another firm that believes.
Oh well, then I could just send you the paper that David Friedman wrote on what would happen between two firms with different sets of laws, and there's actually an excellent video. What's it called? It would be called Law Without the State, where basically they could have stand down orders and things like that, stand down agreements, pre-agreement, signed agreements. That if one, there's plenty of different ways that different businesses with different sets of laws are able to settle their disputes without violence. It's perfectly legitimate. It's perfectly able. I mean, if that wasn't true, then explain to me how states aren't going to war with each other all the time, every single state. I mean, there are 50 states in the United States. None of them are at war with each other, and yet all of them have different laws. Wow, they're able to cooperate. It's just so miraculous.
Right? But why don't you answer the question? What happens?
I totally did.
Okay, so how does a firm that believes evictionism is murder and another firm that believes evictionism is ethically legitimate?
I already told you what you could read in order to. I answered the question. One, I answered the question, and two, I told you what you could read to read more on it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say you should read Robert Nozick because he answers your rebuttal.
Oh, okay, got you. No problem. I'll read Robert Nozick. Got you. No problem.
But
read more ANCAP guys, and they will tell you how. Different business owners are able to settle disputes with each other when they have different laws.
So this isn't an argument. This is a surrogate
I've given you multiple examples. I said they can have stand-down agreements. They can have stand-down orders. They can have pre-signed agreements with each other. They can settle disputes using some sort of auctioning system. Like, there's plenty of non-violent ways to settle disputes without where there's two companies with two different laws. There are plenty of clever people that have come up with solutions on this. Just because I can't list you every single way in which it can be done does not mean that it isn't possible for it to be done. And in fact, there are examples in the real world with states that are literally right next to each other that have different laws and they don't go to war with each other. I don't see how that would be impossible with two private companies who are more peaceful than them.
Yeah, so the argument here isn't that it's innately impossible for them to come to compromise. I'm sure it is possible.
That will be right. One of them will be wrong. The one that is right is the one that ought to be ruling on the matter regarding eviction.
But ultimately, what you're going to see is there's going to be a tendency towards one legal system because of conflict.
Maybe what?
You're going to have to come up with ways to mediate disputes between firms.
And there's plenty of ways to do that without using violence.
Right, and I'm agreeing with you. But then we end up with the former scenario where we start to see a polycentric legal system.
Yeah, I just don't agree with you on that.
Right, so that's just kind of ignorant of anarcho-capitalist theory then. Mustafa, Kinsella, and Randy
Okay,
Burnett,
dude. You
they
can
talk
say
about this
whatever you
that way.
want. You can believe
But
whatever
there
you
is a
want.
tendency, in theory, well, okay, I doubt you read Kinsella's argument about common law.
Okay,
But there is
that's
a
fine.
tendency.
I'm sure Cancella said that every single firm that's going to have law is going to eventually, standardize it. Every single business, even across all hundreds of different cultures with hundreds of different people who have different ideas on how to settle disputes, are somehow all of them are going to agree on one single law, and and then there's going to be just like this huge issue. Yeah, I just don't see that happening.
Well,
If you believe that that's going to
all-
happen, hey, that's on
Wait,
you.
are-
That's you. You can
wait,
believe
aren't
that,
they all
but
agreed
I'm
to
not
one
convinced.
single law? Ought they all agree to one single law? You believe in objective ethical principles, so they ought, right? They ought to get to that point.
Just because I believe they ought doesn't mean it's going to happen. I live in the real world, obviously.
So ANCAP's unachievable?
Not saying it's unachievable. It's pretty achievable, but obviously I don't
Right,
expect
so-
every single person in the whole world to support anarcho-capitalism. That's ridiculous. That's
Cool. But in
Yeah.
general, we would see in these markets of law a tendency towards.
yeah. I heard your argument already. I
centralization.
just disagree with you on it. Move on. What's next?
That's
Any
fine.
other argument?
So, like in empirical examples of common law societies, can you think of any?
Dude, there's tons of states that live right next to each other that have different laws and don't go to war with each other. I could see it happening
Right,
the
so
same way
that's,
with private
That's
companies.
what we call a non-secular, right?
Okay.
Secular? Yeah, alright.
In examples of common law and polycentric legal societies, like what do we see happen with law? Is there a tendency towards
You tell me.
centralization?
You tell me.
I'm asking you. You're the one that told me to read theory, so.
Well, generally, but I don't expect it to happen
So there
across
is
the
a
whole
tendency,
world.
Right?
But that
So
doesn't
this
mean
argument doesn't mean.
again, that's like
per se
saying,
that
oh, there's a
everyone-
tendency for the profit to fall, therefore profit is always going to hit zero. But that's not how that works.
So when have I ever stated that is always going to mean every single person agrees to the same set of laws? No, there's a tendency in the market
yeah,
for most
okay.
firms to abide by the
You're a
same set
midwit,
of
dude.
laws and procedures.
I'm done. You're
You
midway.
just rage quitting, Sithis?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you were just arguing against a straw man, and now you're giving up. Okay.
You're a midwit. That's all I could say.
W among
Yeah.
anarcho-capitalists where they have an issue condemning issues related to the age of consent. So-
When have I ever
That's
when have I
probably
ever done
louder
that?
than-
Wait, when have I ever done that? Tell me.
Did I say you?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so then why are
let
you
me ask
bringing
you
it
a
up?
question. Is what Prophet Muhammad did to Aisha wrong? Yes or no?
I'm not a Muslim. Of course it was wrong.
And by wrong you mean what?
I haven't been
It was
told.
pedophilic.
Wait, so by wrong means pedophilic? So
I love
say
how
no
I
is
make
wrong,
this
you
Dude,
mean
statement.
pedophilic.
Why are you asking me that? I'm not Muslim.
Wait, so
I made
it's
this statement, and caps tend to be okay with child-related things, and then
That's
Sithis
I'm not.
immediately
Well,
follows
don't
speaking
don't
in
don't
favor.
don't
Now
lump
Sithis
me in with
saying
those
that it's
guys.
actually
Don't lump
okay.
me in with those
Rhetoric is
guys.
so pathetic. His rhetoric is so
W.
pathetic and it's so trite.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
mute
is
you if you
what it
keep
is.
talking about that shit. I don't want to talk about shit like that right here. I
Right, so
don't
let's
have
talk
anything
more
to
It
do.
is
about
quite
how.
trite.
Let's talk about
Can
how
we talk about
anarchist
something
legal
normal,
systems
like-
work.
Wait, just stop. Your rhetoric's quite trite. You understand that, right?
What? What?
Let's talk
I'm
about
saying
the
your
need
rhetoric's
for positive
right.
I
obligations.
can't hear you. You're talking at the same
Positive
time.
Sorry, go ahead, yep.
Yeah, so let's talk about, because you don't want to talk about your law system, you don't want to talk about the CP.
I already
Positive
did.
obligation
I
means
already
slavery.
did.
You got knowledge gapped and mogged. Okay, let's talk
All right.
about what's your conception of positive rights, bro?
Positive
You don't
rights?
Yeah.
Well, I don't agree with positive rights
Why?
because I don't agree with slavery. I believe in consent.
So what is your conception of consent? How would you define that?
That would be some sort of like. Generally, the idea of it is some sort of agreement to allow somebody to use or do something with your property. And yeah.
Yeah, so some type of agreement. I mean, we can deduce from that like implicit agreements would be valid. So,
What's an implicit agreement?
well, I mean, you've heard of social contract theory, right?
Oh my
Okay.
god. Go
I
ahead.
mean, you have an
I
issue.
don't really
with-
think like implicit agreements are like a valid like thing.
I have a question. Do you guys think that using public utilities and services is normatively bad?
Not necessarily.
No, not really.
Why?
That doesn't really like contradict like our beliefs. I don't think.
Not necessarily. If you are being robbed by the state, you know what I mean? it's and you use some of their services, I don't think you're contributing to that violence in any way. So therefore, you're not at fault for that theft.
Has there ever been a year where you haven't gotten a federal tax return?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe you
I
are
mean, I
partial.
didn't work. I didn't work when I was a child.
Right. So, do you consider yourself a partial owner of public property?
No.
No.
Partial
So
owners?
how is it legitimate to use then?
Partial owner? What do you mean?
Because
Because
really,
me using it
like-
doesn't violate
no,
anyone's
like,
rights in
collective
any way. I'm
yeah,
not the one
'cause
that took it.
So when you're driving on the road, you're actually forestalling homesteaders.
No, because it's homestead. No, because the public quote unquote property is homesteadable.
No.
Yeah, I'm not stopping anyone from
Yeah,
homesteading.
you are.
How?
You're forestalling. You're forestalling homesteaders. They physically cannot homestead the road because you keep driving on it. It's unowned property that you're preventing anyone from claiming.
That's
You're
only
using-
true
no,
if
but
I'm
you
the
do have a-
one. If I'm the one telling them that they can't go on the land. I'm not telling them they can't go on the
You
land.
are demonstrating they cannot by driving on the road.
No.
So it's unowned, so you have a right to be on it.
No. You're forestalling.
No.
Forestalling
Oh,
is
you forced-
withholding some scarce resource that is owned by another person, from that person.
No, it doesn't have to
and-
be owned by someone. It's just confused.
You're retarded.
Or not, or forestalling some unowned property that is.
Right. So
But
a
again,
public
me
road
driving on
is
a road does not
unowned.
force stopping another person from homesteading it.
Another question, right? So most public roads are actually the product of eminent domain, right? So even
Okay.
assuming, maybe you're just not up to date with the forestalling ball knowledge, right? But assuming that most public roads are the result of eminent domain, and there's a direct legal chain of events that can prove that.
Why don't you have this energy when you're debating Liquid Zulu?
What energy, bro?
Whenever I debate, you debate Liquid Zulu. You're very you're not as confrontational. But whenever it's me, you're very confrontational. I think it's kind of weird. But go
I have
ahead.
respect for Zulu. I have respect for Zulu.
I think it's a little bit weird that you're so hard on whenever it's somebody who's not as knowledgeable. But when it's somebody that is knowledgeable, you kind of hold back a bit. But that's fine. I mean, it's a little bit cowardly, but it's fine.
Sounds like you're
How's
on
that
the
you have a
YouTube channel, gang?
I mean,
But
I have
I admit
respect
I'm
for-
not as knowledgeable as Liquid Zulu on things. I mean, the dude
So
was the
when
one
I
that
have
introduced me to cap stuff.
When I have respect for someone, I'm not going to be rude to them.
No, that's fine. That's a good excuse. Go ahead.
Good excuse. Okay. Bro.
I don't think we can get more good faith.
I guess what I should do when I'm an admin in a Discord server that has Zulu on stage is I should really press him on being illiterate in ABCT, despite him not making any claims about it, right? That would be a good look.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, he follows everything that I believe in. I mean, I believe everything that he believes in, and you don't go as hard on him as you do on me, but that's
I
fine.
don't debate ethics, and
Oh, okay,
so,
but you do it with
I'll
me.
debate.
Right, but that's fine.
Well, I know what my weight class is. Let's put it that way.
Oh, got you.
um,
So you go for the guys who aren't as knowledgeable, so that you could look better.
You make YouTube
As
videos,
what, when you-
bro. Like, you can't be saying this.
I'm not saying. Wait,
You're not like
have I ever
a little
claimed? Wait,
teenage-
have I ever claimed to be like the most knowledgeable ANCAP?
Right now, like you're doing this thing, and it's basically just an appeal to retardation, right? And that's fine, but I mean, you're like a content creator.
That's a good
like,
excuse.
you debate
That's a good
people.
excuse.
So,
Go ahead.
I think I'm perfectly in my right to argue with you, and I don't have to like handhold. Do I need a handhold?
No,
I'm
you don't
not
have a right
asking
to.
you to. I never asked you to. I'm
So
just
what was our
calling out.
conversation
I'm
about?
just
We
calling
got
something out.
derailed.
That's okay. I'm
So,
perfectly in
if
my
you-
right to do so.
So if you know that you're using stolen property by driving on someone's property that was previously theirs before being eminent domain, isn't that a rights violation?
I'm not the one that stole it, so therefore I'm not violating anyone's rights.
Wow, that's a slippery slope. So if
Wait,
I
can
steal
you do the
Pork Chop's
hypothetical
bike,
again?
if I steal Pork Chop's bike and then I give you Pork Chop's bike, are you permitted to use the bike?
No.
The person who's in possession of it would be assumed to be the owner unless you have evidence that he stole it.
Let me
And the
say,
person-
in this
if-
circumstance,
so
let
for
me say I do
instance-
not consent to using
Whoa,
my bike.
excuse me. So if the person comes up to you and says, "Hey, I don't consent to you using your bike," and then yeah, you would have to give it back. But as far as I could tell, when I drive on roads, nobody is coming up to me and saying, "Hey, this is my road. You need to give it back."
Right. So the fact that there's like an eminent domain case in the first place would mean that there was someone that owned that property before and had it stolen from them. So, I mean, just kind of a priori, like you would know that you're violating someone's property rights.
I'm not violating anyone's rights. I haven't initiated any force against anyone. I haven't taken anything
Right,
from
but you're-
anyone.
you're-
I haven't. All I'm doing is using property. If they want
Yeah,
me not to
using
use it, they could
property-
tell me they don't want me to use it, and then they would be in the right to tell me to leave.
Right. So
But as
you're
far as I can tell,
justified-
as far as I can tell, the owner hasn't done so. So therefore, until then, I'm not really violating anyone's rights.
So you're justified in trespassing until they tell you to leave.
Again, I'm not trespassing.
You are. Someone
You're
owns
using my
that.
bike, bro. Why are you
Wait,
using
hold
my
on.
bike?
I think Sithis might be off here because if
Oh,
you
okay, yeah. You're right. You may be right on that one. I may be off on that one. So
Wait,
fundamentally,
let me hold on.
yeah, you could go ahead.
So the thing, if the example is like the bike is stolen and then someone else comes in possession of it from the thief, then if the original owner of the bike does not want anyone else like using the bike, right? So that would include this person who is now in possession of the bike, not the thief, but just someone else. Then that person wouldn't have a right to use the bike because the owner gets the final say, right? They get to exclude others, right? So in that case, it ought to go back to the original owner, and any
So,
possessor down the line like wouldn't be justified in that case.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you-
Cam is right on that. I was a little off.
so what city in Florida do you live in?
I'm not gonna reveal that.
What does this have to do with?
So what I'm asking is, I want to help you avoid violating property rights while you're doing Uber delivery, or DoorDash, whatever you do. And what I want to do is I want to put a FOIA request in for your city to find all disputes and court cases related to eminent domain and roads. And then we can find directly the legitimate owners who do not want the roads to exist on their property. And then we can like mark it off on your map, and then we can like make sure you're not violating anyone's property rights.
Hey, I have a fucking question.
Yeah, just give
Okay,
me
well,
one
maybe don't
second.
fucking interrupt.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, El Grand. I'll give you the floor after. I mean, if you are able to accomplish that, then you know what? You can hold me to it. I'll buy you a steak dinner, and you can hold me to it. We can sit down
So what-
and we can
One.
figure it out. And I might quit my
What
job.
if I could
and-
demonstrate that there's not a single way off your property that isn't the result of illegitimate eminent domain? Would that be okay with you?
Die.
I don't think that would be possible, but whatever is clever, dude. All right, El Grand Captain, what do you want to say?
Blockian Proviso.
How does an anarcho-capitalist even fucking work?
An anarcho-capitalist?
Yeah.
Or you mean anarcho-capitalism? No, you're fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
just the way you said it. It made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, it just sounds funny.
Bro,
man.
So
what's up
anar-
with that God gift guy, bro. I thought the comment like, why is he so like?
What do you like? Profit off how many people can kill other people or something? I guess that'll work.
No, whoa, we don't fuck with violence, bro. We don't
Like
I mean,
Fallout 4,
nah,
and people's
nah,
heads are the
nah,
currency.
Nah. That's a video game, but now basically us anarcho-capitalists, right? So we're against the state. We think that taxation is theft. We don't support the government. We're not big fans of the government. And we basically see taxation as being theft because we believe in the non-aggression principle. And the non-aggression principle is basically we do not believe people have the right to initiate force against innocent people, right? Which would be, you know, like stabbing somebody, hurting somebody, and taking their stuff, right? And that's why we're basically against the state, because the state basically forces you to pay into taxes regardless of whether you want to or not. So we consider them to be like criminals. So we want to basically create a system, but we don't have a problem with private business. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't consider private businesses to like violate our rights in any way. It's pretty consensual, you know? We're not like communists. So we believe in the privatization of all the things that the state does.
I mean, I get it. I mean, let me think. No taxes. So does being an anarchist just mean no taxes? You get a society where there's no taxes?
I mean, it's part of it, but, well, that's kind of the basics, but what comes after, you know, is how you're defined as a, like is what defines you as a specific type of anarchist, right? So there are some people who believe in communism. They don't believe in taxes, but they believe in communism, right? So that would make them an communist or
Interesting. Yeah, I
anarcho-communist.
saw somebody else with that. I've always thought anarchy was retarded as fuck, but I see they have their own little subsects as well.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, a lot of people's assumption about anarchism is that it's a sort of a all hell breaks loose, and anyone can do whatever they want, and you could just go up to somebody and stab them in the neck, and that's okay. No, that's not what we actually believe, or at least most anarchists don't believe in that, right?
Do you think no taxes necessarily entails anarchism?
No.
You could still have like
Anarchism is an ideology, right? It's a set of beliefs, right? It isn't like, we could try to achieve anarcho-capitalism or anarchy, right? But, there's still other things that need to come with that, right?
Like what?
Well, fundamentally, if I'm living on an island by myself, I may be living under anarchy, but that wouldn't be anything good, right? So what anarcho-capitalists we envision is having some sort of, as opposed to having a state enforcing its will upon everybody and having a forcefully pay services that they don't want, we can have private companies who would provide those services for some sort of fee and make it completely voluntary, as opposed to having some state forcefully extract wealth from us and make us pay for services we don't want.
Yeah, but I don't think you need anarcho-capitalism to facilitate a society like that. I think you need like some chill form of objectivism, like anarchy.
There's nothing wrong with objectivism.
Oh no, but why do you need to be anarchy? Why do you need to get anarchism?
Because the state violates property rights.
I know, but why can't you just have like a state that only has a monopoly on
communism?
Well, that's still against.
Well, that would still be a violation of property rights.
So you just want to start business and make capital?
How would a state that just has a monopoly and retaliatory force violate property rights?
Because if I wanted to retaliate against another person, they would not allow me to, because they would have no choice but to do it on my behalf, and that's a violation of property rights. How does that violate
property rights?
Because if I have a gun and I want to retaliate against another person and the state stops me from doing so, they're claiming ownership over my gun, my property, my body.
Violation of the non-aggression principle. You'd be violating somebody else's property rights if you were to, attack them.
No, but what if somebody attacks me and I retaliate? I'm talking about retaliation.
Right, you'd still be violating somebody else's rights of property.
No,
if somebody stabs me, right, and then I pull out a knife and I say, I'm gonna stab you back, I'm not initiating force. They're the one that initiated force. I'm retaliating.
Wait, I understand that you're not the one initiating force, but you're still violating somebody else's right to their own body, even if it's retaliatory.
No, I'm not.
By definition, that's not a rights violation, because you have a right to defend yourself at that point, and they didn't have a right to stab you randomly though.
So you think you just give up all rights and all your bodily?
I didn't say that.
You give up your right not to be stabbed when you stab someone. Yes, absolutely.
You give up your right to life when you stab somebody?
If you stab somebody, you've given up your rights to not be stabbed by that person.
But if rights are innate, how does that work? Or can you just give up a right?
Well, because you've said that you've created a right from that other person.
What do you mean you've created a right from the other person?
Because when you've initiated force, you've given up your right to defend yourself against that person. You're stopped from arguing that that person doesn't have the right to retaliate against you. Because if you argue about when you initiate force, you're basically claiming a right. You're basically saying that I think it's okay to initiate force. You're making an argument there, right? And then if you argue that afterwards that you don't believe it's okay for that person to retaliate, you would be stopped, because you're basically saying that with your earlier argument was essentially that you believe that it is okay to initiate force, but now you're saying it's not okay to initiate force. So if
If
you're
rights
saying
are
it's not
intrinsic,
okay
why
to
does your argument and your perspective on the matter matter?
What is rights having to be in? What do rights being intrinsic have anything to do with what he's saying?
Well, yeah. If you stab somebody, it doesn't detract from your right, your intrinsic right, your own life.
He just explained
You're
why.
right.
Wait, if I'm not allowed, then my question to you is, if I'm not allowed to retaliate against a person who stabbed me, what gives the state the right to retaliate against a person who stabbed me?
I'm not saying the state necessarily has the right. I'm just saying the state is morally
So then if the
justified.
state doesn't have a right to
necessary.
retaliate against a person who stabbed me, and I'm not allowed to have retaliate against another
I still
person
think the state ought to retaliate.
Okay, but
No,
I don't think
that's
the
not
state
the...
exists to be
Wait,
immoral.
so
It's
then...
How can the state have the right
Then
to do
I
that?
believe I ought to have the right
Well,
to
no, I'm
retaliate.
not saying they have the right to. I'm saying that the state needs to retaliate. I'm saying
Okay,
they
and
ought to
I'm saying I
retaliate.
need to retaliate.
They're
Hold on,
saying you
if
ought to
they-
retaliate, or
Yeah.
you're saying you need to
Yeah, it's the same
retaliate.
thing. Saying
Yeah,
they
it's the
ought
same
to
thing.
retaliate. Saying they
Okay,
have-
so okay, sure. So would you agree that at the point when I stab you, I initiate force onto you, I don't just give up my right to life?
I didn't say you
Just
gave
a
up
what?
your
Say
right
that
to
again?
life. I said you given up your right not to be stabbed.
Okay, but you see how I'm making the the implicit equivocation there? Yeah, I feel like that kind of logically follows.
No, that's
Right to
the right
bodily
to stab.
autonomy.
The right to not being the right, or if you don't have the right to be stabbed, that doesn't mean like you don't have a right to life. Like if you're trying to just like say
Bro,
the
I
things
don't
you're
believe
saying-
that
stab
people have a
me.
right to live. That's kind of
Bro,
ridiculous.
Are you fucking? Wait, okay. I don't think all life is valuable. I don't think everybody has a right to live, but I think I have a right to my body, because my body is my property. So if you stab me, you're violating my right to my own property.
Yeah, and
I'm
the only
violating
okay, and I agree with you on that. The only difference in my opinion and your opinion is that you believe that the state is the only person or the only group that's allowed to retaliate, whereas I'm saying I believe everyone should have the right to retaliate.
Right. So you would
So
agree that
why
rights
does the
are
state get the
implicit,
special
right?
status that they're allowed to
Because it's
retaliate,
the
whereas I'm
state.
not? Where
Because
I'm
you
not-
need the state.
where I'm not
Because you
allowed
need
to
a
stab.
state to exist to make sure that a society doesn't.
Yes,
I don't
it's
agree
the
with that.
ruling body.
Yeah, I don't
Everybody
agree
else.
with
The
that.
ruling body.
You could
Well,
privatize
you don't
most
think
of
that
the
you need
functions.
order?
Whoa, excuse me.
Yes, you need
You-
order in a group. Of course, you
Wait,
need
wait,
order.
wait. You're attributing a bunch of things to anarchists that, like, we believe in order, right? We just don't believe in an order that's governed by some state. We don't believe in that in a what would you
The
call it? A
state
forced
disrupts
order.
order. The state
How do you
does
enforce
not
the social
enforce order.
contract,
They
bro?
disrupt order. They forcefully
Yeah, that's-
extract our. I don't believe in this. The
Bro,
social
you're just
contract.
gonna atomize the disruption of order by giving yourself the right to retaliate.
Well, what gives
just
the
gonna
state
make
the
it
right to
worse.
retaliate then?
I'm not saying they do. I'm
Yes,
saying
you
you're
are.
granting
Yes, you
yourself the right
are.
to retaliate. No,
Because
I'm
saying
saying
that-
that the state ought to retaliate. I think the state is always
Yeah,
going
what
to
does
Okay,
it
be
mean
then,
to say
so
they
that
ought
means
to
that
do
you.
that, right?
What does that mean? Ought.
No, I'm making a moral. It's a normative claim. I'm saying that they
Yeah,
ought
so
to
is the right.
retaliate.
When we make claims about rights, it's also normative. You're also making
Yeah,
a
you're
normative
saying
claim.
you're basically saying that
I know,
the
but you're
state has.
making a
Wait.
different
You're saying
normative
that the
claim.
state ought have the
I'm
right
not
to
saying that the state
retaliate.
is morally justified
This-
in retaliation. I'm saying the state should retaliate.
Okay, so the state
Yeah.
should retaliate, but people should not.
Yeah.
But people, okay, so what gives the state the special status that allows them to
Yeah,
retaliate,
again,
but people
because,
are not?
because the state needs to exist to make sure everybody's not stabbing each other in retribution. Like, what is this Old Testament?
Wait a minute, that's not necessarily true. So you need to violate
Dude,
people's rights in order to make sure people don't get their rights violated? That's a contradiction.
What do you mean you need to? Dude, you're running into the same
Taxation is
contradiction.
theft.
Yeah, I agree. Taxation is theft. I don't think this.
Okay,
this
so
state
you're
should be taxed.
violating people's rights in order to protect people's rights.
Wait. How am I violating people's rights?
How do you get the money in order to protect people? How does the
Yeah,
state get the
so,
money to
bro,
protect people?
Bro, do you think, a voluntary taxation donations is going to be prudent
And
for people?
Okay,
who
so
want
then
to,
you're with us.
Yes, I'm an objectivist.
You're
Okay,
state-
so then
you're
that's not a
anarchist.
state. That's a private business.
No, he wants a
No, that
monopoly.
is a state, bro. Bro, that is a state. It's a state with monopoly and retaliatory force.
Okay, so then
Yeah, it doesn't-
you want a business to force its will upon everybody, basically.
No, because the only function it would have is to enforce you just need to enforce the monopoly of retaliatory force.
Yeah, but
To make you not
they
fucking
would stop
mercenaries.
other people from enforcing that law. They're the only one that's allowed to
Yes.
enforce that law. Okay, so then they would be
Yes.
so like let's say I'm on my own land and somebody comes up to me and stab me and I don't want to call the state.
Why
I
would
just
the state
stab.
have any
Excuse me.
jurisdiction over your
Whoa,
land?
excuse me.
You're
So
right, I'm
let's
sorry.
say that some guy comes up to me and stabs me, and I don't want to call the state. I just go up and I retaliate and I stab him back. You're saying I'm doing something wrong there because I didn't have the state retaliate on my behalf.
Yeah, the state wouldn't be doing something right. The state should just intervene.
Yeah, but what if they don't? What if I just stab him right away?
Then the
So you're
state's
saying I'm doing something wrong
The state's
there.
not perpetuating its function.
So I don't have a right to protect myself or retaliate. Only the state has the right to retaliate on my behalf.
I'm not even saying the state has a right to retaliate. I'm saying the state should retaliate.
Okay, so then only the state should retaliate on my behalf. I should not ever retaliate. So if somebody
What do you think
stabs
if you have a
me,
right?
so basically what you're saying is if somebody stabs me, I have to call 911 and wait for them to come, tell them what happened, and then when they come, then they retaliate, and then that's okay. But I'm not allowed to stab that other. I have to wait for the state to.
I'm not saying you're not allowed to. I'm
my
saying that
behalf.
it'd be morally wrong for you to do that. If you want to stab the guy, sure, I think you should have. There should be consequences imposed upon you for doing that.
Okay, but that's literally what I just asked you. That's literally what I just told you. Is that not what I just asked you?
You said it in very different words. If that's what you're trying to convey, then sure.
Okay,
I don't
so
wanna argue
basically
the
what you're
here.
saying is if somebody comes up to me and stabs me, I have to, and the state is 20 miles away, I have to sit there and wait for the state to say it's okay for me to stab him back, or a judge to say it's okay
No,
for
you
me to
need
stab
to-
him back.
the-
And if
you
I
need to
don't
wait
do
for
that,
the
and if I
state-
wait, and if I
Right.
don't wait, and if I don't do that and I retaliate before the state says it's okay, then I'm doing something
You'd be
wrong.
doing something immoral.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. What am I doing that's immoral?
Yeah, you're detracting from another person's property rights to their own body. In the same way the person would be detracting from your property
But when
rights.
the state goes, gives you the green light, then you're not.
No, the state wouldn't be giving you the green light. The state would be handling it
Oh,
themselves.
yeah,
But
And
what if
that
they
would
tell
not
me
give
it's
you the
okay for
right.
me to stab
The
him
state
back?
cannot grant rights. I'm saying that the state would intervene.
No,
Yeah,
but
but when the
okay,
state-
let's say the state
Because
says
they're
it's
not
okay
violent
for me to stab him back. Let's say the state says, yeah, you can stab
Bro,
him back.
again, the state
You would
cannot
say,
grant
now
you
the state
rights.
has granted me the right to stab him
No,
back.
the state cannot grant you rights, bro. Rights are innate. Rights are implicit.
Okay, so
Okay.
now I'm allowed,
It's
from your
society.
perspective, you're saying I'm not doing anything
No,
wrong by
no,
stabbing
you are
that
never
guy
allowed
now.
to do that. You need to let the state handle it.
I know, but listen to what I'm saying. You're saying now, from your perspective, I'm not doing anything wrong by stabbing that person. Now that the state says it's okay, I
No,
have to wait.
you are doing something wrong if you were stabbing the person.
But what if
You
the
need-
state
you
says
need
it's
to get
okay?
the
But wait,
state-
the state says it's okay.
Again, the state cannot
No, if the
fucking
state-
grant you rights to do something.
No, but
If
they
the
just,
state does-
they said I'm
okay,
allowed
bro.
to
In this fucking
retaliate.
hypothetical, the state cannot grant you the right to retaliate, right? Right.
So
the
then
state
who's
cannot
allowed to
grant you the
retaliate?
right. Bro, you understand that the right to retaliate and retaliation aren't the same thing, right?
Okay, but then who has the right to retaliate then? If I'm not allowed to
Nobody
retaliate,
has the right to retaliate. Nobody has
so
the
then
right to
what is
impede
the
upon
state
another
gonna do
person's
when they
property
pull
right.
up? What is
Yes,
the state gonna
is
do?
going to do something immoral and detract from the individual that stabbed you.
Okay, so
property
nobody
right.
is. So basically, what you're saying is nobody, not even the state, is allowed to stab that person back or do
No, I'm
something
saying
to that
that
person.
I'm saying that the state is allowed to. I'm not saying that the state is.
Okay, so then
doing
what gives
some-
them the right to do that?
I'm not saying that they have the right to do that, bro. I'm saying that they should do that. It's a necessary.
Okay, so why
evil.
should they do that? Why should I have to wait for their permission to stab the person?
They have to
Yes,
have the
so
right
you
to do
maintain
that.
social order, so you can have something that's enforcing a social contract.
So you
don't
think
devolve
me
into
having
the
to
state
wait
with
for the
mercenary
permission of the
groups shooting
state?
each other.
Okay, so
No,
you're saying
you don't wait for the permission of the state. You wait for the state. It's not that hard.
how is that any different than what I just said?
Bro, you're saying you're waiting for the permission of the state. No, the state's not going to grant you permission to violate somebody else's property rights. The state's going to do it themselves.
Only the
It's not gonna
state.
be you.
But what if
violates.
they say I'm allowed to do it? If they're not allowed to say that?
Okay, in this fucking scenario where they do, then you not be like that's not like a system that I would push for. It's a completely different thing.
That doesn't answer
I'm
my
saying the
wait.
sky
So
is blue, and
yes.
you're saying what if the sky
So
is
yeah,
red?
wait. So the state says yes, you can stab him back as retaliation. We're giving you the permission. So would that then make it okay now?
I don't. It wouldn't make it okay. It'd be like a state that I'm not advocating.
Well, I mean,
for.
would it make it okay from your perspective?
No.
Why not?
Okay, I think
The
you
state
already
says it's
answered
okay.
There would
Yeah,
also
I've
be a
answered
lot
this about like 5
less
times by now.
violence.
I don't know. I feel like you're being a little inconsistent here, honestly.
I'm not. I'm being perfectly consistent. You're actually just lost in the sauce.
I'm lost. Okay. All right.
You are genuinely lost in the sauce. bro. I'm
Let
trying to
me
be convinced.
explain. If there's
Okay,
a
done.
system who takes responsibility, then it's easier on the people. Like, imagine the scale of death if it's up to the individuals to take upon their own vengeance. Everyone's gonna out bickering over little plots of land. We're all gonna be killing each other. There needs to be order where there's a centralized
So
population.
nobody
That's
should.
just how it
No.
is.
So you don't believe in self-defense, Joseph?
No, I don't believe that you have any right to violate somebody else's property rights.
Even if they, so let's say somebody is about to, like, with a knife, they're about to stab you. You have to just sit there and take it, basically. What you're saying?
Disarm them and stab them back.
You can't interfere. You have to submit. If not, you're doing something wrong.
No,
Yeah.
you can practice self-defense
Wait,
if you in an emergency.
Excuse me, Captain. Respectfully, I like you, bro, but I didn't really ask you the question. I was asking him the question, so I want him to answer. If that's okay.
You
You're
don't
good.
just like sit there and like be raped. You like run away, but you don't get to like stab the person back if they stab you.
So like, let's say there's a woman in an alleyway and she has a gun, and there's a guy like that's like, I'm about to rape you. You would say, and she pulls a gun and is like, no, don't rape me, and then she shoots him. You would say she did something wrong there.
100%.
Okay.
Violating
kinda
somebody else's
crazy,
property
bro.
rights. 100%.
Okay. Wow,
That's-
that's quite the bullet to bite, but okay.
That is kind of crazy, bro.
Wow.
I'm not saying she shouldn't do that. I'm saying that she did something wrong.
No, it would. How?
You even calling it a rights violation is actually begging the question. You do understand that, right?
It's begging the question. How is that begging the question? I don't understand that.
The very thing in question is whether or not it is a rights violation to retaliate proportionally if someone takes your property or attacks you, what have you. So you assuming it's a right violation is just assume in order to argue that's a right violation is assuming the very thing in question to prove it. It's not. It's circular.
Well, he's asking me a very direct
He's arguing
question.
why
I'm not
it's a
building
rights
an argument
violation.
around the assertion. It'd be circular if you asked me what is the property or characteristic that would make this a rights violation. I said it's a rights violation because it was a rights violation, but he didn't ask me for an argument. He just asked me to clarify. So nice try.
You said you're an objectivist?
I'm like a very low tier objectivist. I'm just like
Wait,
looking
like,
into
do you think
philosophy.
Rand would agree with you on this or no?
No, probably not. I don't know
Okay.
Rand.
No, certainly would
isn't,
not
like,
agree with you on
wait,
that one.
Objectivist? Isn't that like Randism, or am I wrong? Like, isn't it like
Well, I don't
Rand's
think.
No, you're
thing?
right. I'm like a very low tier one though.
Okay.
I don't think some
I'll
objectivists
admit I don't know much
Yeah,
about it.
like you can like
so-
just look up the objectivist view on like punishment or rights. You'll figure out what they think.
Yeah, dude. Like,
but, like,
Why don't
respectfully,
you
I
tell
just
me and
Right.
tell me that I'm
Proportion
question
would,
begging again?
respectfully, I don't really know much about
Yeah, you were
objectivism, so
begging the
I
question.
don't think you're
And
right on
granted,
this,
I
bro.
suppose that,
How can you beg a question if you don't build an argument around an assertion?
yeah.
I mean, like KingSithis.
Well, yeah.
You didn't ask
so
me
if you're
what
trying to
was
argue
the
that, like,
Synthesis.
I mean, the premise of the hold on.
Wait,
hold
let
on.
William go. Let William go.
All right, go ahead, sir.
If maybe I admittedly I was not paying 150% attention to the debate. Maybe this phrased the question he was asking you in a problematic way. I don't know, but that would be an error on Sithis' part if he's like conceding that it is a rights violation for the sake of argument. I guess if he's trying to like great reductios, but I think it's important to point out that assuming it's a rights violation would be an issue. Of course, you argue that rights are innate, which is, by the way, not what objectivists believe, but that. But yeah, that could be an argument. You could say, oh well, if you think rights are innate, they're inherent to your nature because like you're a rational being, because you're human or whatever. Then how could the rights go away just because you did something? That's an argument you could obviously make, and yeah, that does create a. Yeah, you made that argument a little bit earlier, but yeah, but we should probably focus on that
the
rather
question
than.
begging is there.
Like,
Confused as to what you're saying.
No, I was just trying to.
What?
Like you said, William, I was just doing a reductio because he was basically saying that if you were the only people that have the right to, or he would say would be in the right, not the right, it'd be in the right to retaliate against another person would be the state. So I'm just like, wait, so that
No,
would
I'm saying that the woman
that would
would
basically imply that you don't believe in self-defense.
I'm not saying that she has the right.
I said be in the right. I said in the right. That's why I clarified.
So in the right and not the right, like being in
like
the right
you
does
believe
not
that
create
that
the right to
person,
do something.
like when I say, I'll clarify what I mean in the right. I mean not saying that they have the right. I mean that means you think that they are right. So
yeah.
the only
so in
time
that case, I think the woman is right. I don't think that you, in any case, you have the right to impede upon somebody else's property rights. And also,
So-
William,
no,
can
but
I
the
just ask
question
for
was-
clarification?
okay. So then let me clarify
Okay,
the
go ahead.
question that I asked you earlier, which is, let's say do you believe in self-defense?
It depends on the case. Yeah, I
So
mean,
for
in most
instance-
cases I do.
Okay, so like let's say for instance a person with a knife is about to come up to you, says, Joseph, I'm about to stab you. And you have a gun, would you say
And
you
he
wouldn't
just
be in
says
your right?
it?
Or do you have to wait for the state? Or would you be right to stop
He
that,
just
to
tells
shoot
me
that
he's
person?
gonna stab me,
Yeah, he's like
Like
I'm gonna
prematurely?
stab you.
just like prematurely.
Yeah, he's about to stab you, and then before he's about
Do
to
I know
stab
he's
you,
about to stab me, or is he just saying
Wait,
he's gonna
wait.
stab me?
he's doing both. He has a knife out, he's about to stab you, and he's saying he's gonna stab you. He's like,
I mean,
gonna
I'm
st-
personally gonna shoot him. I mean, I think I'm gonna be in the right for sure. I don't think it gives me the right to shoot him.
I know, but I'm asking you, would you be in the right to shoot that person?
Yeah, I just said I would. I'd be in the
Wait,
right.
but
because it
then
gives me
wouldn't
the
that go?
Up the right.
But wouldn't that contradict
Doesn't
what
make-
you said earlier about the state? Because you said the only people who would be in the right to retaliate would be people in the state.
So the only people that should retaliate are the state.
But then that would
But you
imply
just said
that
you'd be
person.
in the right for what?
Yeah, sorry,
You said
but then
you'd be
that
in
would
the right
imply.
for doing-
Sorry, Cam, you go. Sorry, I'm talking at
He
the
just
same
said,
time.
okay, this doesn't. He's trying to draw some like, or he's saying that you should, or he would be in the right for stopping that person from stabbing him, but that he wouldn't have the right to. Is that what I'm getting? Is that what is that what you're getting?
Yeah.
But I don't even know what that means then. Like, what do you think it means to have a right?
Okay. When I'm saying I'm in the right, I'm saying that my action was just.
From his personal,
so
from your
necessarily
personal
you must have had-
perspective, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah.
As
You
opposed
must
to
have
saying
had
he
the
has a
right
right to do it in the metaphysical sense.
Right.
Okay, so
And I
if you're
said right
basically
to,
saying
like,
the only
lexical
people
sense.
who are in the right to retaliate are the people in the state, then that would also imply that if the person who is about to stab you and then you shoot him before he's about to stab you, you would be in the wrong because you retaliated without the state.
But me as an individual, I mean, you can hold me in the wrong, in some sort of social context. But me as an individual, I operate to preserve my own life.
Yeah, but I'm asking
I'm
you,
gonna do that.
like,
Yeah,
obviously.
you're asking me what I would do. Yeah, if
No,
somebody
not what you would do, but who is in the right from your perspective. Because if it would have to be
Yeah,
so,
from
if
my
you're being
perspective, me as
consistent.
an individual. Okay, when you ask me as the individual, and you're so if you put this, if you want to go back to the fucking woman getting dogged in an alleyway scenario, yeah, I'm not going to say the woman is in the right, but if it's me, I'm going to say I was in the right.
What?
He's
What?
not.
So if you're
Very
allowed to
narrow-minded
retaliate,
way.
so you're allowed to retaliate against other people, but you're saying she is not in the right to retaliate. But if it happens to you, it's in the right for you to do it.
Fuck yeah.
That's
And if
Pardon?
I was the woman, I'd say that it was okay for me to shoot the guy before he raped me.
we're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
you,
me.
but
if I
you
was
said
the
earlier
woman,
that it
I
would
was
be
living
wrong
my
for her
case.
to shoot him.
Yeah, but that's from my perspective. I'm saying if I was
not
the
talking
woman,
about from
it'd
your
be right.
perspective.
Yeah, but
So there's
not your
like-
perspective. I mean, well, I'm asking from your perspective, but I'm not saying
Yeah, yeah.
you
From
are
my
the.
perspective,
I'm not saying
yeah,
you
yeah.
are the
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, no, KingSithis,
you
I
are not the
understand you
woman.
completely.
This is a
No,
different
I
person.
understand. No, KingSithis. I understand that. I understand that. I'm saying that, yeah, from my perspective, it's wrong for the woman to shoot, but if I was the woman, it'd be right.
Wait, so there's like two standards, one for you, one for everyone else?
Yeah, exactly.
Which one is
Okay.
objectivism? The one that applies to you or the one that applies to everyone else?
Which one is what?
Objectivism.
Oh, probably none of the above.
Are you high?
Am I high?
I am.
Gotcha.
I'm high on life.
I see.
Listen, dog.
There's dopamine
Respectfully,
pulsing
like,
through my veins right
you know what? Like, I kind of had a good conversation with you, but I think that you need to little bit read maybe more on objectivism, maybe because
Can
I
you
don't
name
think
10 books right now, KingSithis?
name 10 books. Democracy: The God That Failed, Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. Fucking
Spell that guy's name really quickly.
Thomas Sowell? TH.
Yeah.
Bro, you're asking me to do too much right now, bro.
Spell his
I
last
couldn't
name
name
really
10
quickly.
books. I couldn't name. I've read 10 more than 10
how do you
books.
spell soul? How do you spell soul?
I'm pretty sure it's Sowell.
Yeah, this guy's a trapper.
That is correct.
That is right?
This guy's a trapper.
Okay. Come on, bro. If you don't know Thomas Sowell, bro, that guy's the
that
dope.
is
the dopest.
correct. This guy, okay, bro, that guy's the fucking monetarist. If you're like actually an anarcho-capitalist, you can't. Is he even? Or is he an Austrian?
Just because, no, he's a Chicago guy, but I still respect him. I like him. I like it. I respect his work. He
No,
was the
that
one
guy
that
was-
turned me more libertarian. I respect his work.
That guy was meat riding Milton Friedman. Isn't that like the boogeyman?
Just because I don't agree with him on everything, don't mean I don't like him. He has a lot of good work.
Wait, Sithis, how is work going?
It's going good.
Any promotions?
No, just in doing DoorDash.
Wait, do you
just
support like
glazed
certain
on the
laws
soul
that
for
like
money?
would increase the? Wait, sorry. Would you support like laws like some cities have passed that like increase wages for DoorDash drivers?
No.
Do you support those?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Aren't you a little bit like liquidity constrained though?
What? No, I mean,
I'm
what
just
do you mean by
trying to
that?
balance those two things in my head. It doesn't quite line up. There's a little bit of a
No,
discrepancy.
I don't
there,
think
no?
the government should force DoorDash to pay people more. No. That's not right.
So your principle comes before your paycheck. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I guess so. Well, of course, bro.
People
That
for
would not
you?
make it would not make sense for me to. I mean, it would make me a hypocrite to do that. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It would make me like it would
Bro,
make me a
asking
total
somebody for
hypocrite for me
liquidity
to like
restraint is
to
crazy.
support minimum wages or
Locktar
whatever.
Auger.
Is he not?
And then, huh? I said it would be hypocritical.
Well, actually, you know what, Sithis? You working below minimum wage is in itself a little bit of a protest against the system. Because you're saying "fuck you" to the state.
Whoa!
fuck you to
What makes you
minimum
think I
wage.
Whoa! What makes you think I make less than minimum wage?
But in the event that you did, that would be a protest, right? Because you're basically saying "fuck you" to the state, and you're getting
Sure.
around the regulations that you oppose.
Sure. Whatever you say.
So you there is actually a statement.
As I what? I mean,
At least that's where I'm.
that would be agorism right there.
How many people make federal minimum wage though?
I mean,
You should-
pretty
you
much
should bring that up more in
nobody.
debate,
Nobody
like-
makes minimum wage nowadays. That's like what, $7, $8?
Depends on the state and the city.
Nobody makes that much nowadays. I don't think anyone makes that much.
Gotcha.
What do you make hourly to this?
Why don't you bring that up though? I feel
I'm
like
a
in debates,
DoorDash
you could
driver,
use
so
that.
I try
You
to
should-
make at
you
least
should use
200
this.
a day.
You make 200 a day, bro. How old are you?
28. Why do you guys care how much money I make? That's none of your
Bro.
business,
Because it
man.
shows like how good your
Shows
economics
what?
understanding is.
Oh, wow.
It shows that you're like
my
a
God.
learned individual.
You know what, guys?
You're
I'm broke,
recommending
guys.
youth literature?
Actually,
I think you should go
I'm
read the
completely
general
broke,
theory.
and I live with my mother. I'm completely broke, and I live with my mother.
Bro, you're not helping your movement.
I don't
You gotta
care.
get some like financial movement before you.
And I live in my mother's basement, too. And she cleans my toilet.
Rent free.
Rent free, yeah.
You need some motion. To
And I'm
this.
playing
Come on,
World of
man.
Warcraft, too.
What do
And
you
she's
do with
about to
that
make me a
money? What do you
sandwich.
do with that 200 an hour?
At 200 an hour? I didn't say I'd make that much. I said
Yeah,
I make
just go
zero.
with-
Oh, 200
I make
a
zero
day,
an hour.
my fault.
I live off
This
of
is
Social
terrible.
Security and disability income.
Well, is it mental or?
Yeah.
You know
definitely.
what would work? Communism, LOL.
I told them whatever I need to say to get the most money, you know.
Dude, I think it's like actually I don't know the total, but it's probably less than you make.
I don't know, bro.
So this, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully with 10 kids and a wife.
Are you going to sustain like 10 kids' lives on DoorDash salary?
I'm definitely making their day easier
What does that mean?
in the sense that I bring them food.
Well, how are you like going to sustain like their life though?
Sustenance.
The government
know.
will
I
pay
think what
you
he's
for
saying
10
is it's
kids,
like not like a
LOL.
career and that like there's no upward like
I'm
you're
gonna
kind of
work.
hard stuck. You're
I'm
soft
gonna
blocked.
work and
That's not what I was saying. Come on, man.
Well, like he can't increase his
This has
number. Like,
liquidity
he can work more
constraints.
hours. Well, that's true, but like, there's no upward mobility. Like, he makes what he makes. Like, there's no way he can
Maybe-
increase without working more or moving.
Because maybe you got like a
Sell
vest
half
why do
left
you guys
and
give a
like, started
shit? Why are you
taking
guys
multiple
analyzing
orders.
how much money I make?
Because
As
we
if
love
that
you,
makes
man.
any
You want-
difference
you
to
want
the
what's best
argument.
for you.
Spreading the
I just
love.
love how you got cooked over like how dumb your argument is, and now you're like analyzing my income so that you could make a comeback. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I don't want to get personal.
It's all
I mean, I don't want to get personal, man.
You're the guys.
I never made it
You're the
personal.
guys-
You guys are
you're
making
the-
it personal. Y'all are
I'm not
asking me
trying to
about
make
my
it personal,
income.
man.
all
We were
my
just having a
own-
nice conversation about soul. I love you, so this I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to be rhetorical.
No,
I
you're,
love you.
bro. You're cool. I'm just playing around, bro. I'm not upset. I'm just.
I mean, I did just like fucking sodomize you, so I don't know what you're talking about. But...
Your argument made no sense. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You do hear yourself? What you just said? You said that
Like,
people
listen to
can't.
this. I'm
have
not
the
gonna
right-
lie to you. My argument made absolutely no sense, but you were like stumbling over yourself.
Okay, sure. I'm sure.
I mean, man.
Comprehension issue. Tracking failure.
Yeah, comprehension
I'm sure you think
issue.
so.
I mean, that was a concession, by the way. So this, I mean,
You're
you
the one
really
saying
got me.
that they have the right to retaliate what they ought to do if it doesn't make any. That's incoherent. If they have the right,
Do I really need to tell you what's wrong with your argument? Like, that's so stupid. I feel like I did tell you what's wrong with your argument.
If they don't have the right, they ought not do it. If they don't have the right, then they ought not do it. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, no,
if they have-
that's not right, Cameron, because rights are inalienable, but this sort of like right
What is that? That's not
is
relevant.
alienable because it's
It's not
conceptual.
relevant. What are you talking about? Alienability.
Well, there's a
Holy-
distinction between those two things, and he was being very precise when he gave that answer. You just weren't tracking, which seems to be a pattern, actually.
Yeah, well, that's just
Oh,
like
I got somebody close in me now, bro.
he was saying like things that made no sense.
Well, then it makes sense to you in the same way that like a third grader walks into a college lecture, it makes no sense.
True.
Do you have liquidity constraints too, Cameron?
Liquidity constraints?
Dude, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I make good money. I'm saving
Rights aren't
money. I live on
inalienable
my
if they
own,
can
I
be
pay my
removed
own
by your
shit.
government.
Bro, you said you were living with your
forgot
mom
it,
like a
forgot.
fucking
Wait, never
minute
mind.
ago.
I live with my mom. I live in my basement, mother's basement. She cooks for me, everything. Yeah, I'm chilling.
But he has the
I don't
whole
even
room
have a
to
job.
himself, so.
That's like a mother-in-law suite. That's cute, man. Yeah.
Does ANCAP relate to like dating markets?
What?
Like SMB?
And, yeah.
Like,
If you're
can I
an
be in
NCAP, it gives women liquidity constraints.
Never talk
I
about
agree.
politics. When I go on dates, I never talk about anarcho-capitalism because it's like a term.
You invite
for
your
most
mom?
women.
Yeah, but don't you think there's like the state is kind of interfering in the dating markets?
Yeah, I think so because they're giving like all these women welfare and shit, and then like they could take care of themselves without men, and then it's not good, you know.
You think they're subsidizing singlehood or whatever?
Yeah, it's not good.
Gotcha.
We need to abolish all welfare.
True.
Where do you think you would be like now, so this if they abolish education when you were coming up?
Well, he didn't graduate, so probably no different.
Oh, dead ass.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got my GED. I don't know what you're talking
Abolish education?
I got my GED.
You got a GED? Holy fuck, so this.
I know
What are you
you're
doing,
talking
man?
Well, he said I didn't graduate. Technically,
I don't want to be an
so-
asshole to this. What are you doing, man? Like, what's the
What do you
plan
mean?
here?
What am I doing?
Are you going to college or something? You're 28?
I'm a DoorDash driver now.
He studies the wheel.
Yeah, I study the wheel. I'm a business owner. What are you talking about?
A micro business, yeah.
I'm a business owner. I am a bourgeoisie.
Petite. Well, when he said between,
I
bourgeois, he's
own,
like
I
petite
own and
petite.
work I am a petty bourgeoisie. I own and work my own means of production.
Wait, do you think you own your car to this?
Yeah, I own my car.
College is a scam.
Do you-
LOL. Want
How does that work?
200K in debt to DoorDash.
How does
Because
that
I
work?
paid for it? What the fuck?
Right?
Like, I gave somebody money
for
and
it?
they gave it to me? The
Wait,
fuck?
if I bought a house, do I own my house?
I would hope so.
It was a legitimate transfer, then yeah.
I sure would hope so.
What is ownership?
What is ownership?
Oh my god.
Why am I asking this?
The right to
Okay.
exclude a person from a scarce resource.
Does the right go
You don't have that
complete?
right though.
Bank owns your house.
You
Well,
don't really
you
own
might
anything
still have the
under
right.
our system.
Does the right go
Not your
kapoof
stuff.
if you can't enforce it?
Oh.
So because you have like the normative moral right to exclude the usage of your car, does it matter if
He
you
like
can't enforce
morally owns the car, but he doesn't like substantively own the car.
You guys make me want to hang myself. You know that?
That is substantive
it? Bro,
ownership.
if I was a DoorDash driver, I'd want to hang myself.
Dude, I love door dashing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Door dashing is
Are you
dope.
like?
I get
are
to
you
go.
thinking
All
about-
I do is drive, pick up people's food, drop it off in front of their house, and that's it. And I get paid good. I got paid
Well, you're on the
$300
road.
today, bro. Hell yeah! And I didn't even barely work. So,
So while
you
you're on
know
the
what?
road, are
Talk
you
shit all
thinking
you
about
want.
ANCAP
I'm
stuff, or
living good.
Are you like philosophizing on the road, or like how does
Hell
that
yeah!
work?
I listen to books. I watch YouTube videos. I listen to music. Hell
For
yeah.
what though, bro? Like,
For
what's
what?
the
Because
goal?
it's fun.
Because it's fun. So you're just
fuck
like
yeah.
living your life in the pursuit of like the next burst of dopamine.
Yes,
Why don't you
I
start
like to
doing
enjoy
fucking
my
heroin?
life. Yes, I like to enjoy my
Why don't
life.
you start doing black
Wait,
tar
so I have
heroin?
a quick question.
Yes.
I found this recent survey on most attractive careers for women, and I didn't see DoorDash driver in the top 50.
Oh, wow.
Is that a mistake?
No way.
Is there, like,
it's a
a
huge
method-
mistake. It should be at number 1. It should be at number 1, bro. I'm just drowning in it.
Number
trust.
0 even.
The second that I tell a
Gotcha,
woman I'm a
gotcha.
DoorDash driver, they just like spread them open for me.
Gotcha.
That doesn't work. It's a contradiction, man.
It's a contradiction.
Yeah. I
what-
thought we already established that being an anarcho-capitalist gives women liquidity constraints.
Because they spend so much money on Sithis. Because they're
Listen,
so
bro, I'm a
won
looks
over.
maxer, okay? I don't know what you're talking about.
How much do you
Let's see
weigh?
that jawline to this.
How much do I weigh?
Yeah.
He's weight maxing right now.
I actually went to the gym a little bit ago and with my measurements. So I currently weigh 177. I'm 5'10".
No, you don't.
And my body fat is 24%.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Wait, so how are you looks maxing? Are you doing like
I'm doing whatever
peptides?
I can to make myself as good looking as I can.
Does that include peptides?
No. I'm not a hard
What does that
maxer.
include?
Just doing everything like the normal just
Like what?
brushing my teeth, doing my hair in the morning, you know, making sure that
Oh, you're just
you know,
like practicing basic hygiene.
Oh
Is this
yeah,
like a
of
new
course.
thing for
But
you?
not only that, but I try my best to like wear certain clothes that I think will make me look the best. I try to buy certain things
Like what
to make
What does
clothes
a
the best
fit
on
look
you?
like for you?
Yeah.
Huh?
What does
What-
a fit look
what-
like for you?
Bro, I feel like no matter what I tell you guys are just gonna pick it apart.
I'm
you guys are gonna be
genuinely
like,
curious
oh,
to this. I'm genuinely
this is
curious.
stupid.
I wanna know,
Oh, da da
like,
da da. Oh no,
what's the
you're not a
science
real looks
here?
maxer because you know da da da. Like I really don't.
No,
feel
I
like
want to
going
know the
through all this.
science. What, like
The science.
what looks best on you?
I'm not saying anything scientific here. I'm just talking about in general. I try to make myself look as good as I can.
Well, like, what's your methodology for like picking out the best clothes?
Things that match, something that looks good together.
I'm picturing
It's
like
more of like a. It's a little of a look
Orange
sort of thing.
jumpsuit.
yeah,
Generally, not things like that. No.
picturing like a camo set in like a video game. It's like, well, the green on the thing and the other.
Yeah. You guys are boring.
How many pairs of Jordans do you have to this?
I don't have any.
Liquidity constraint, right?
Are
Oh,
you guys?
shit.
Damn, you guys are really upset that I mogged the shit out of you in that debate, and now you guys are just.
No,
like,
you
picking
mogged me,
apart.
man. You mogged me. You're right.
Now
You
I'm
got-
picking up. Now you guys are picking apart
No, seriously,
what I
I'm
like
being
to
serious. I
wear.
conceded, like,
Is
20
this
minutes
like? Is
ago,
this
bro.
as like? Is this
You brought it
like
up,
as
though.
low as you guys are trying to go? All I said is I like to
Well, I mean, you are
dress.
5'7".
All I try to do is try to make myself look as good as I'm able to. That's all I said. And then
All
you
you
guys
said
are
is you
like
go for,
This chat
trying your
became mad
best.
retarded.
You guys are just trying so hard to like pick apart every
These
little thing
people
that
are
I
annoying.
say
Can you
to
take
make
a deep
things
breath,
look
man?
bad
It's not that. It's not that deep.
make your get a comeback from the fact that you know I
But
kinda
no,
mocked
you're
you.
right. You mocked me.
in
This
the
isn't.
debate.
This
It's
isn't
okay.
about that anymore.
Got
I
you.
can feel like 5 times.
Yeah, I know,
Why?
it's just-
the
It's not that
grand
deep.
narrative,
Like I'm
dude.
bored.
You brought
I'm
it
bored
up.
with this. I'm bored with this. Do you have like an
Well, to be fair,
argument?
you did
or-
bring it up though, right? You said you were looks maxing, and then you said, "Well, I pick out clothes." I was like, "Well, that's interesting. How do I
Yeah, but
like?"
I'm
looks
not
max
gonna
with
sit
clothes?
here and fucking like. No, I'm not gonna do this with you. You're
Well, you said you
midwit.
color match,
You're
which
midwitting
is
me
like-
right now, and I don't have patience for it.
Go
right
buy
now.
yourself
Gotcha.
something nice.
Yes.
Are you currently
You
on
know-
Basecamp on your stream?
Not right now.
KingSithis, I'm
I
actually.
can
a
turn it
King
on
King.
if you want, but
Are we thinking like purple hoodie, purple pants, or like what's the color matching there? Like,
I wear all black all the time, with every outfit.
Oh,
Thank you
shit.
for the 7 coins. I appreciate you, Cam. I don't
You
even
send
know how
people
that
coins.
I don't know what that translates to in real money, but
Are you on TikTok?
I'm
Oh.
live streaming on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch.
What's like the total viewership? Like 5?
I don't look at it.
Or is there mental health concerns?
Yeah, bro. I don't wanna upset myself with how low my viewership
Like
is.
6 or 7.
I'm sorry to this.
Sorry for what? You did nothing wrong.
I'm sorry you are where you are, man.
I am in a good state in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
That means that you haven't had very many good states.
I've had a
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good
kinda-
life. I don't know what you're talking about. I love my life. You can
Well,
sit
actually,
here
Chris-
and try to make me feel bad about the way that I live. That's
I'm
fine.
not to this. I'm not. I'm coming from place
Oh
of love.
no,
I'm
you're not
wrong.
trying to make me feel bad. No.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to raise awareness.
You're not judging me in any way, or
I
Wait, so
am
why
judging
did
you.
Why did you drop out though?
because I was an
That
idiot
was a good
teenager that wanted to smoke weed all day.
Was that where like the ANCAP ideas started brewing?
Bro, I didn't become an ANCAP until like a year ago.
Oh, gotcha.
It's been
You
a
were like a
long-
libertarian.
It's
You
been a
like
long
suffered
journey.
like traumatic brain injury a year ago.
Yeah, but like,
Oh yeah, I got dropped on my head and then I woke up as an ANCAP
Gotcha.
and yeah, it was crazy.
it was like Fetterman, yeah.
I was like imagining somebody like making you bite the curb because you said something like mean to them.
Did you feel like the weed has had like a long-term effect on you, or is it like kind of?
No, I got caught having sex with someone's wife, and then they punched me in the face, and I woke up, and then I was like, "Oh my god, anarcho-capitalism is just."
I've never met somebody with headcanon about themselves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's got
That's what
head trauma.
That's
head
what the
cannon.
doctor told me. You know, I don't know.
This is the doctor telling you that shit, man.
And then I
What kind
just
of
started
doctor you got?
binging Liquid Zulus for like hours and all his debates, and now I'm here.
Who is that? Some streamer.
Oh, I'm not tapped in.
You know Divinity?
You don't know who
You
Liquid
Divinity?
Zulu?
Not allowed
Yeah,
to
I know
join
Divinity. I know Divinity.
It's like Divinity's like stupid counterpart.
What?
Oh, didn't we have a debate once?
Who?
You or no?
Like 5 minutes ago?
No, I mean before this, obviously.
The head trauma's getting to the CTE.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's getting to me. Divinity, he's a cool guy. I like him. I think he does. I think his debate with Andrew Wilson made me really happy because I don't like Andrew Wilson very much.
Little erection.
Yeah, it gave me an erection. Absolutely. I was like, ah.
Wow, you just admitted that on stream. Like, there's 5 people watching you.
Yeah. I mean, Divinity, he kind of mobs, not gonna lie.
What was the topic? Like abortion?
No, it was like.
What about abortion?
It was like about like rights.
No, they were talking about they were talking about rights in general, just property rights and libertarian ethics in general.
My sleep.
And Andrew Wilson was like, he said some like stupid ass shit. He was like, length is not a comparison. It's it's a weird. I don't know, bro. He was saying some weird shit, like obfuscating mad hard.
What do you mean length is not a comparison? What was that in his context?
He was saying, well, he was.
It was like I don't remember how they got to this point, like what the broader point was, but it was like the term tall was brought up, and Divinity was saying that tallness is like relative. Like if you say someone is tall, that's relative to others, right? Relative to the average height. But then Andrew Wilson's like, oh no, it's not. It's like obviously
was it
not.
just like semantics, or was like the other guy saying tall and
Yeah, he was playing that's like Divinity was like on point the whole time, and Andrew Wilson was like trying so hard to obfuscate and play a
Zip his
semantic
pants up,
game.
bro. Chill.
It was pretty dumb. What?
Zip his pants up.
Hard.
Cause like you're like sucking his dick right now.
Why would I do that? Why would he do that?
Bro, I
Like
can't
metaphorically.
say somebody did a good job in a fucking debate like without you thinking I'm sucking his dick. Like fuck, shit.
No, I don't actually. Sid, you don't actually think you're sucking his dick, right?
Yes, I know you don't think I'm actually sucking
Okay,
his
I just
dick.
wanted to
Yes.
clarify.
Okay,
Kind
yes.
of seemed like it went over your head there.
Bro, this
But
conversation.
you are like
got
5'7", right?
Why
Oh
is
my
it just like
goodness.
low level like trolling now? What happened to this room, bro? This
Oh
room
my
was low key.
goodness. It was
Cameron,
kind of
you've been
fun
sending this guy
before,
shekels
but
on
now it's like
TikTok.
making me want to kill myself.
You've been sending this guy shekels on TikTok. You know how he got here, man.
Huh?
Hey, I got more money. I got some more money in this
I sent him
conversation.
roses on. Yeah, I sent him roses on TikTok, so he like
yeah.
could heal from this like the suffering he's feeling from this conversation. It's like
Yes.
it's torturous.
I got some shekels from this conversation.
Yeah, what are shekels?
I don't even
What
know.
is
Isn't that like a coin?
Yeah, man. You got it.
I actually sent him roses though, so I didn't send him shekels.
Okay.
You sound like Divinity, bro. You probably watch him all the fucking day.
No, he doesn't.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh. Okay.
You probably watch him out play piano all day.
I prefer my piano. I'm an artist.
Me too.
Do you like do finger paintings?
I have an album.
Are you a rapper? What kind of music do you make?
I guess you could say that.
Do you actually have like a fucking mixtape add to this?
Yep. I can send it to you if you want.
Holy fuck.
But I feel like you're
I'm
just gonna
okay.
make fun of it, so I don't know.
No, I don't want to see it, man. You're good. That's cute. I'm proud of you. I hope you're making some money off of that.
I'm gonna make another
Is it on?
one sooner or
Is it
later.
on SoundCloud?
Yeah. Just look up my name on
Holy
SoundCloud.
shit.
You'll see it.
What are your songs about?
I like people.
Oh.
Oh, it's like GED core. I get it.
Yeah, bro. Come on, bro. You're not into it? Where are these fucking Wendigos? Oh, I remember where they're at. They're over in this fucking... I've never done the dwarf starter zone, so I don't really know where to fucking go. Ugh. I'm playing World of Warcraft, so... What time is it? 2? Yo, it's not that late. You know?
Shoot, like when you like usually do your DoorDash thing?
Normally I wake up at 1 and then I just stash until I make $200.
AM or PM?
PM. Or 1 in the afternoon, I say.
So how many? When do you usually get off?
You know, it usually takes me like 8 to 10 hours. So sometimes between 10 o'clock.
Bro, you could be grinding. What? Seeing you 8 to 10 hours?
Is like peak
That's not that
traffic on the
long.
weekend or?
8 to 10 hours is a long time to you.
No, I'm just saying you're making $200 in 8 to 10 hours, bro. You could genuinely be making more McDonald's.
If you say
Well,
so.
wait, could you?
I don't think so.
No, probably not. I don't know,
Wait,
man.
so do you work on the? Is this on like the weekends or like which days?
I do.
peak?
I work every day. I try to grind as much as I can.
But is it easiest to get to 200 on the weekends or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like today, I made $300.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it was
You
Easter
know,
today.
working in the gig economy.
Do you invest all the money or like where is it going?
I just save. I'm saving.
You don't believe in investment?
No, it's not that. I just don't really know much about it, so. No, maybe maybe I'll think about it.
So you're okay with your bank investing your money for you? Not even for you, just
I can.
just like
I guess so.
But what are you scared of? Like, just like losing all your money?
Well, of course, yeah. Well, yeah. That's
Why don't
pretty,
you
I think
hit
that's
me
a
up?
pretty reasonable thing to be worried about, right?
Dude, you should look at if you heard about Doge.
Of course, I've heard about Doge. Oh, thanks for the more
Gotcha.
coins. I got more coins. Or roses. Thanks. Oh,
like
Texamon! How you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Oh.
You okay? Why are you sighing? What's wrong?
Is your homies to this?
Yeah, he's my friend. Well, at least I think we are.
Is he an end cap or?
Oh yeah, he's an ANCAP. Why are you laughing? Are you trying to say, oh, we're not friends? I don't like this fucking guy. Get this fucking KingSithis guy away from me. Huh? That's how you really feel about me, Trexamon? Shit, bro. I thought we agreed
How do you
on
make
everything.
friends like IRL King?
Wait, what?
Like, how do you make friends in the real world?
I don't have any friends in the real world.
Really?
No. I hate everybody.
You're fucking with me. Like, you don't meet people when you're door dashing.
Like, I'm friendly with people on the internet because the main reason I'm friendly with people on the internet is because they don't bother me. People on the internet don't bother me. They don't if they annoy me, I could just block them. You know, like, it's mostly like a good thing. Like, internet friends are always like nothing. Generally, it's benefit, and there's very little loss to it. Whereas like in real life, people ask you for shit. People want you to go with them places. People want you to do shit for them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you're working like peak social hours, especially on the weekend. Where are you meeting people? Is it at the gym?
Well, I meet people when I do DoorDash.
Your friends are from delivering food to them?
Well, I meet people at the restaurants. I meet people at the restaurants. I meet people when I drop them food off. I mean,
Like, how do you socialize people at the restaurant? Like, is it
he said he doesn't. He doesn't do that.
Like, are you just like hitting up like
I don't have many guy friends, but I do talk to women whenever I can.
From the restaurants? Like McDonald's?
Really
sometimes, yeah. You know.
Wait, what's your McDonald's Riz like? Like, what's your?
Like, hey, yo, girl, let me get you a Big Mac. I don't believe in Riz, bro. Riz isn't a thing, bro. It's all about looks.
The girl behind like the worker, or like?
Yeah, bro. All you need, listen. All you need to do to pick up a McDonald's girl is be like, "Hey, yo, let me get you a Big Mac," and then they'll just spread it right there.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
so you're like accosting the workers. Gotcha.
What? What?
That word's too big for him.
I heard. No, you guys are talking at the same time. I didn't hear you guys.
Said you're like accosting the workers.
Not unless I feel like they want it.
Oh, so you're accosting on like a vibe basis.
Wait, so how often do you go to the gym though? You said it's like daily?
Maybe every other day. I go. Not every day.
I think you said it was today.
Oh, today.
Oh my God, Trex, is that you?
No. What?
Is that an IRL photo right now?
No.
Yeah, that's funny. Wait, what was the question?
Do you make friends at the gym?
Not yet. I've only just started going.
Wait, do you have like real talk though? Like, do you have any friends? IRL?
Not really. Like guy friends?
Does it make?
I have one. I have one female friend. Like that I hang out with sometimes.
From high school?
Great
to meet you.
Yeah. Actually,
Cool.
I did meet her in high school. Yeah.
Are you a little bit lonely?
Am I what?
Because like most people like socialize at like the workplace, right? Or they socialize in education.
I meet people while I'm on the go. When you go to the same restaurants all the time, and you go to the same
guys,
you meet the same people. There's tons of different restaurants. It isn't just one McDonald's or one place here, one place there. There's tons of different places.
How old are you?
Some restaurants like
28.
more friendly than others, or
yeah.
Are you still alive for this?
Wait, what's like the best?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
The DoorDash driver.
Why? What's up with all these rapid fire questions?
No, I gotta know.
I mean, it's fine, but like, goddamn, take it easy on me, huh?
I just really gotta know though. Like, you said different restaurants are different. Like, which
Yeah,
one's
some-
like especially friendly?
I mean, McDonald's tends to be pretty friendly. Like most of them, mainly like most restaurants, I would say most of them are pretty friendly. Like most of them don't give me a hard time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like it's
Do you
very
ever, like-
rare when a restaurant gives me a hard time.
Do you ever socialize with your customers?
sometimes, but not more, not that much. I never accost any of my customers because I feel like that's like unbusinesslike. But I will hit on a worker. Yeah, like fuck yeah.
Isn't this immoral? Isn't like an initiation
How
of
is
force?
that immoral?
Bro, you really use the verbiage accost.
Accost,
Yourself.
as in like you talk to the woman. Yeah, like the fuck.
When you approach or like when you fucking talk to somebody in like an aggressive manner.
Accost is a
I don't think.
bit.
Yeah, I don't think that's not what I meant when I said that. Obviously.
Okay.
We taught him a new word and he like didn't realize it was being used satirically.
Yeah, obviously when I talk to a woman, I'm not trying to be fucking aggressive. I just ask them if they're single, and if they say they're not,
You just
then I
accost
walk
them
off.
like in a chill manner.
Is that your? Does it work though?
Oh my god, you make me want to hang myself.
That's a you problem, man. Don't do it.
No, because you're annoying me right now. You're midwitting me right now, and I'm just like so over it.
I don't know what that means.
Just
Can you,
look
like,
it up.
Bro, can you not like have a conversation where you're not like into the internet jargon?
Well, I mean, he has
Do I
nothing
have to
IRL,
sit here
so,
and
like, what
tell
else would
you
be
like
into?
to teach you all of the internet jargon? Like,
I don't want you to. I want you to not do that. I want you to speak like a normal person.
oh well, that sucks for you, I guess.
Wait, when was the last time you did it?
Joseph is
Why are
normie
you
man
why are you
right
fucking
now.
like what's that term tone policing me right now, bro?
When have I ever commented about your tone?
I didn't say you, Joseph. I was talking about Joseph.
Oh, when is Joseph?
I'm pleasing you. I don't think
He
I've
totally
commented
is,
about
bro.
you.
He's all like, oh, I don't like the way you're doing it, like using this jargon.
Well, that's not tone.
Oh my
I'm just saying I don't know
gosh,
what
you're
you're. I'm
midwitting me
asking you to
right now.
clarify as to what
You're
a word.
midwitting me right now,
I
and I'm
don't
so
know.
over
What's
it.
about using words correctly as being a midwit?
Yeah, you're midwit.
Well, then what makes you
You're
like a
being
sage
midwit.
when you're
I'm
like
sorry.
KingSithis and
You're
you
just
like
the fact like I'm not gonna sit here and explain it to you. If you either get it or you don't.
What? Wait, Sithis, I get it, or maybe I don't. But when's the last time you dated someone? Like, does this work? This McDonald's like
I haven't been in a
worker-
date. I mean, I've had sex with many women, but I haven't dated a woman in a couple,
From
maybe
McDonald's?
2 years.
from the McDonald's like
Mac
pickup
line
line?
From a
and
McDonald's
DoorDash drivers?
specifically, no. I mean, I had
From all
some.
these like fast food restaurants?
I've been out of the dating game for a bit because I don't want to date anyone right now.
How long?
Huh?
It's a fair question.
Wait,
How
what was the
long?
question? Say that again.
When's the last time you had like a girlfriend, bro?
It's been like 2-3 years. 2 years.
Jeez.
But that's from. I mean, I could date a girl right now. I mean, there's plenty of women that want to date me. I just don't.
From
Just
McDonald's?
not ready right now. I'm just not ready.
There's no way. All these fast food workers are like, bro, that
Yeah.
one driver. That one DoorDash driver.
All that looks maxing, bro. All the brushing his teeth.
There's no way.
It's better than not brushing your teeth.
No, you're
Bro, I
right.
bet he brushed his teeth.
I would hope you brush your teeth. Like, fuck.
He looks
dog.
like he showered. It's like, what are they saying about?
Poor
Wait,
Sithis. Let
are
the
you
man live
laughing
his
at the
life
fact
how
that
he
I
wants
take a
to.
shower? Like,
You know that
like,
would be
wow,
like
that's
the thing
a
that distinguishes
that's really
you from, like,
funny.
or that makes you stand out.
I
Is
never
really
said
what
that.
it
Makes,
is.
did I
Okay.
ever say that it makes me stand out?
Well, the question like is, if not, then what?
I told you I do. I'm not gonna sit here and list every single thing I do to Luxmax. All I'm telling you is that I do everything I can
the penis pump.
what I
Yes,
can
Well, the three
to
things
make
you
myself
listed
look as good
were-
as I can, and that's it. I'm not
Okay,
gonna sit
but
here.
I'm
Don't
just
fucking sit here and
okay.
mid whip me. I'm not gonna sit here and do
Okay.
all that nonsense. If I
Okay,
don't want to sit
respectfully,
here and
can
list
we
off a
both
bunch of
say-
nonsense, I don't have to. Okay.
Just chill out.
Three things you listed were one.
Okay, but I'm
brushing
over
teeth,
this
2,
conversation.
showering. Okay.
I'm
gang.
so over. I'm so over this conversation.
Do you brush your teeth? You brush your teeth.
Yes, I brush my teeth. Yes, I love to brush my teeth.
And do you
Maybe you
bench
should
I
press?
got one of those
next right
spinny
now.
toothbrushes that are just so great. I love them.
You use toothpaste, right?
No, I just you know, I put it under my armpit, I wiggle it there, and then I brush my teeth with like that.
Gotcha.
Right, but KingSithis, you bone smash. That's
Yeah,
That's what
bro,
we're
you never
between
bone
us right
smash,
now.
bro.
Yeah,
Well, you never
give
bone
me a
smash?
bone smash.
Yeah, just like you ramming your dick into your bed.
What? What's wrong with
No,
that?
No. No,
It's gotta
bone
get hard
smashing is
somehow.
when you
It's gotta
like
get
a
bigger somehow.
hammer.
You know, you gotta break the mold, right? That's how working out. You
Yeah.
gotta break the muscle down, and then it grows back stronger. You know.
Yeah, bone smashing is when you get a hammer and like smash it on your jawline, so you get a more refined and bigger jaw. You know.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been working out as much as I can. I've been buying a lot of new
Well, how-
clothes, new jewelry. I've
Gotcha.
been I've been
Why are you
painting my
buying new
nails.
jewelry, bro?
I've been painting my nails. Well, actually, I
You've
didn't
been
paint my nails.
painting
A woman painted
Alright.
my nails recently.
Are we going to talk about anything related to like anarcho-capitalism rather than Sithis' personal life?
This is related to
No,
anarcho-capitalism.
no.
We're trying to display the cons of being.
Wait, what way is this
anarcho-capitalist.
not related?
No, what
Right?
happened is I mocked the shit out of these two in a debate,
This is-
and now
this
they're
is
just
the
trying.
natural
They're just like
conclusion to
digging deep into the.
anarcho-capitalism.
No, they're just trying to dig deep into the burrow to try to find any flaw
Well, you know
with
that's not
me,
what happens. This
so
is
that they can be
great.
like, "Oh my God, Sithis! Oh my God, I see this flaw. Therefore, anarcho-capitalism is also flawed because you, King Sithis, have this flaw."
No, Sithis, you had a normal conversation with Joseph,
Yes,
and then I came
very
in and I asked you
irritating and boring.
questions.
And
I think they're different
continue,
conversations.
I
I'd
know,
rather-
but like, I don't. Nobody's come
there
in
are
and
other
asked a
lives
different
I can-
question, so
There
I
are
don't
other
know.
things I can go do.
I mean, I
Well,
don't.
there's
rather
no second
tired of
Sorry.
this
game.
annoying
If
discussion.
you want, I'll
so.
fucking guys. Can we talk about ANCAP stuff now? Like, fuck.
Well,
I'm a
does William
Keynesian.
Taylor, you
just
want
wanna
to
derail
talk
the
about that, or? Gotcha. I'm gonna call him Bill P. Does Bill P want to talk about that, or is he just a lurker?
Who?
Bill P.
Bill P.
Who's
Yeah,
Bill P?
You
Right
know
below
who
you.
Bill P is?
No.
William Paley, the goat.
Oh. It says Will.
Yes, they're
You said
engaged.
Will
They're
P. I
engaging.
thought you
They're,
said
they're
Bill
giving me a
P.
nickname because
They did.
the
Yeah,
interview
Bill
with they're ridiculous.
It's Will P.
They did
Well, I
say
understand
Bill.
you
People
feel
often
like
call
you
people often
Bill.
call people
Yeah,
William
PH.
Bill.
Right. I mean, you have a lot of
said,
critiques, but like, do you
I
want to
thought,
say
bro,
something?
you guys are making me confused, man.
Well, it's a pattern. But William, do you want to discuss something, or you just lurking?
Well, I mean, I'll say something if there's an occasion to. I was just asking if, like, for example, I wanted to know, hey, is the conversation going to change at some point, or if not, then I'm fine with that. I'm just going to go somewhere else. I just wanted to know because
I would really hope
it's been a while,
for
so I wanted
that
to
to
kind
be
of
the
figure out.
case. Honestly.
How can it change while these people are here and they don't want to actually talk about?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, like, respectfully, if we don't move the conversation, I'm gonna start muting people. So
Oh shit! Laying down the law.
hell yeah, because I'm the boss.
Oh.
Any questions about ANCAP?
Is this the means of production
Would
that you're
you
owning?
steal a penny to save the world or whatever?
Hell no.
Is that a reductio?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck those people in that world.
KingSithis, do you think anarcho-capitalism is economically efficient?
Hell yeah.
What is efficiency?
I mean, more, less input, more output.
Less input, more output?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. You think anarcho-capitalism is going to lead to, you know, economic conditions that are going to, I guess, make that like more input, more output happen? Less input, more output?
Well, yeah, I would think so, because when you allow people to trade and you don't have people coming in and robbing those people, they're allowed to create more wealth, and that generates more income for, you know, more people overall.
Could you be specific? Like what's one like policy you would put forward that would like be kind of poggers, like in the U.S.?
None.
Like, could you
Don't,
draft something?
the non-aggression
You don't fuck with
principle.
policy.
Well, I'm thinking like a specific policy. So,
Yeah,
like, a
here's my
president could pass.
policy. Don't
How would
aggress.
ANCAP prescribe policies? That's
Well,
like a government thing.
Yeah,
Do you
don't aggress. That's my policy.
Obviously, government.
do you think you could like think of something more specific? That, like, imagine you're like a think tank or you're like a policy advocate. or maybe you're just like an advisor to the president, or maybe you're an advisor to some like senator or whatever. But in any event, like you're gonna push like a very narrow policy. Like, could you think of anything that you would change?
Abolish the state.
Yeah, so what I would say is don't aggress. Abolish the state. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 100%. Fuck that shit.
Do you think it's possible to like get something more granular, specific, or no?
I would hope so.
Gotcha.
I have something, but maybe I shouldn't say it.
You can say whatever you want, Cam, brother.
How do you prevent natural monopolies?
Wow.
Natural
It's all too
monopolies only
vague.
exist under a state.
So all these like vague theory questions.
What?
Before.
Natural monopolies only exist under a state?
Yep, because there's only
No, it's a natural monopoly.
Wait, can you-
That doesn't work.
there's only two
Okay,
ways in which a
monopoly.
monopoly could form, or three ways. The first one is a new comer to a market. Then there is a what you call it, which is essentially a small market monopoly, which is essentially a you know,
No, but
when
like I'm talking
somebody's
about
in
like
a small
naturally
market.
forming monopolies, like
And then
operating
there
under these
are-
terms that you have an unimpeded market.
When you
You're
have
in
an
a
unimpeded,
capitalist society.
yeah, I know, I understand the question. I was getting there.
But you said natural monopolies only exist with the state.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay.
Could you give
So,
an example of a natural monopoly?
I was. Yeah, could you give me an example of a natural monopoly?
Yeah, like a monopoly that.
No, make
forms
Sithis.
that-
No, make Sithis give it. No, make Sithis give it.
I don't think there are such things as natural monopolies.
Could you give an example of a monopoly like simplicator?
A what?
Like a monopoly writ large.
The state.
Boo.
Like the, so you mean like the U.S. government or like the
Yeah.
government of like Chile? Are there any monopolies other than the U.S. government within the confines of
Well,
the
the
U.S.?
state grants monopolyhood to certain businesses. Yeah.
Oh, really? Like which ones?
There are certain businesses that hold patents over certain ideas, and they can forcefully exclude
Like
other
Apple?
businesses from competing with them. Like Disney, they hold a patent on Mickey Mouse and all their rights. So therefore, they could.
I don't think Mickey Mouse.
forcefully-
Wait, you can't. What?
Mickey Mouse isn't it's definitely copyrighted.
Intellectual property.
Not-
right?
not
Intellectual property, whatever. Oh my god,
I
you're
don't know if it's
midwitting me
still a-
again. You guys are midwitting the shit out of me, and it's annoying
Holy
the fuck
coke,
out of me.
bro.
As
Midwitting
opposed
is
to,
like
So,
one of
so
the
you
let
most
me get
guys-
this straight.
like I give you a very easy like argument, and then you guys like take one thing that I said wrong, as opposed to like hearing the
You're the
spirit of
only
the
one
argument.
still
You take
talking
one
about
thing
it,
that I
bro.
said wrong, and you guys are focusing on that one thing, as opposed to focusing on the actual
You are
spirit of the
currently
actual
focusing
fucking
on that one
argument.
thing.
I
No, we're
don't have
focusing on the
patience.
spirit.
I'm sorry, I don't have patience for people who midwit me. I don't. Do
No,
it
no,
at
we're
a
focusing on the spirit.
listen to me.
I just wanted to.
Listen to what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
Copyright, patents, intellectual property rights, those are state-granted monopolies. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
You're saying like Disney has a monopoly
Yes.
on Mickey Mouse,
Yes.
the means of the mouse.
Yes.
Could you explain what that means? What does it mean to have like a monopoly
Oh
on a
my
mouse?
god, I don't have patience for you right now. I'm sorry.
People are so bad faith in like.
I'm like, so I don't have
fucking
patience
it's gonna
for
make
this.
me blow my fucking brains out.
Bro,
I
it says
don't.
the white
Why
knight.
do you tolerate this idiot?
I'm sorry, I don't have patience.
Why are you meeting people?
I don't have patience for midwits. I don't.
Okay, so you said the natural monopoly is the only form of the government existing, right?
Yes.
So you provided
Or state.
examples of natural monopolies. When I say natural monopoly, I'm talking about a monopoly that is formed naturally, natural economic conditions unimpeded by government.
I can't. I don't believe they exist.
You don't believe that they can possibly exist?
No. Could you
Are
name
you
me
fucking
one
serious?
natural monopoly that doesn't have any state?
No, because no, because there's not a possibility for natural monopolies to form because you never had a state without a government or a place without a government. I'm saying that without a government,
if there is no criminal organization forcefully stopping people from competing with each other, then and there is a business that is making a profit off of a certain good, other businesses see that profit, and they compete, they create new goods and services to compete, and then eventually lowers the product. The only thing that stops people from competing with each other is to force the arm of the state. I mean, and if you don't agree with me on that, then I'd urge you to give me one example of a natural monopoly because you're
So yeah, so the whole
making the
natural
claim that
monopoly
they do
thing-
exist. Wait.
You know, I'm
You're
saying that
making
the
the
whole
claim.
natural monopoly.
Excuse
thing-
me.
Wait.
Yeah, I wasn't finished. Last sentence.
You're not okay. You're not tracking what I'm saying.
You're
That's it.
making
Come
the
on.
claim. You are making the claim that natural monopolies do exist. So I would urge you to give me an example of one.
Yeah, so again, I can't do that because there's no cases
Okay,
of companies existing without a state existing, right? That's like me asking you to give an example of an anarcho-capitalist society. I'm operating like under your reductive framework here. So anyway, yeah, the issue there is just going to be that when you have a company that gets to a point where it is big enough to even threaten the existence of monopoly, it's going to devolve into a de facto state because it's going to have probably majority control of infrastructure of the industry, of the respective industry, right? So it just becomes a de facto state, and it's going to operate within profit incentive to make sure that competitors do not exist. So you said earlier, to cover your ass, that unless there was a private police force that was impeding upon other people's rights, there would not be a natural monopoly that can form in an anarcho-capitalist society.
Yeah.
Let's say this, like, if there's a profit incentive for me as a business owner to protect my profit and perpetuate my ownership of the whatever
In a
respective
free
market.
yeah, but you're not talking about a free market. I'm not talking. I'm talking
I'm
about
talking about
in a free market.
a company that develops in a free market.
In a free,
and then
yeah,
detracts from
and
the
I'm
existence
talking.
of the
Okay,
free market,
yeah.
because
I'm
profit
talking
incentive
about.
dictates it does now.
What I'm talking about is in a free market. In a free market, if there's nothing.
No, we're talking about the
legally-
same thing. You're not tracking.
Let me know when I could continue.
Oh yeah, you can continue. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Okay, so in a free market, if there's nothing, no force in terms of whether it's criminal or the state stopping you from competing with another business and there's profit to be had within that area, then you will not see a monopoly forming. It would be impossible because as soon as that business goes large and they start trying to undercut or overcut other businesses will see what is going on and they will compete in order to cash in on that profit. Whenever the state comes in and grants basically, or a criminal organization stops people from competing with each other, then you start to see monopolies. But that's not a natural monopoly. That's an unnatural monopoly, I would say.
So KingSithis, if you're in an anarcho-capitalist and we're applying this, hypothetical to an anarcho-capitalist society, what's going to stop me as a business owner who's trying to protect my monopoly and acting rationally, in a way that's going to perpetuate the existence of my prospective monopoly? Why aren't I just going to hire a private police force to ensure that other people cannot, attack the centralization of ownership and means production I've, effectuated?
Well, because there would be other competition there to stop you.
So if I've
there would be so
aggregated
much
all of the
competition
infrastructure necessary
because there would be such a beautiful free market, and there would be so much competition that you would only be a drop in a bucket amongst all the hundreds of all security firms that are around.
No, but I'm
so
saying
many
that
security
I'm bigger.
firms. It would
I'm
be
saying that I have
impossible.
meaningful ownership over the infrastructure.
If that was true, if that was true, then why don't you see this with states? There are tons of large states that, and there's tons of small states, right? There are tons of large states and there are tons of small states. Why aren't these large? Wait, excuse me. Whoa. I'm afraid. Why are you afraid of hearing my argument? So my argument is there are tons of large states and there are tons of small states. Why isn't it that these large states don't automatically just take over? Why doesn't America just take over?
What is America doing
Mexico?
right now? What is America? Because there's no profit incentive for America to do that at this point in time. There's comparative advantage, right?
Exactly.
There's not going to be comparative advantage when I'm trying to monopolize an industry.
So when you have a
It's
private
one industry,
business,
I'm not a state.
Yeah, so when you have a private business, even though there may be a business that may be larger than another, because they have the profit incentive as opposed to the taxation incentive, they're less likely, not saying it's impossible, but they're less likely and they're more incentivized not to commit violence because there's more profit generally than it is to cooperate with other people and it's to violate other people's rights. Especially, you brought up an excellent point, comparative advantage. Even when you have large companies,
it was happening within
and
one
small
industry.
companies,
I'm
a lot of the
one
times.
industry, bro.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm talking
So-
about one industry. Like, let's say that I'm Apple and I exist in an anarcho-capitalist society. What's going to stop me from using, you know, their powers and resources and the cornering I have over the infrastructure that is necessary to produce the, you know, products I'm selling? What's going to stop me, Apple, from making sure that Nokia and BlackBerry cannot
Competition.
compete with me by force? There's no
Competition.
comparative advantage that they can offer me.
Competition in the rights enforcement agencies.
Yeah, but I'm already massive. I already have, you know, all of this money. I've aggregated all the resources necessary to do this. Do you think BlackBerry and Nokia can like hold a candle
But
to
again,
Apple? They're just gonna fight back.
You would then
Okay,
have to
let's
explain.
fight back.
If you believe that that's going to happen, then you would have to explain why America doesn't invade every smaller country.
Because there's no reason for America to do that, right? And where there is reason for America to invade other countries, it's happening.
Okay, so why? Okay, so then I could say the very same thing for those private companies, right? Because if they're making a profit and spending a whole bunch of money on, military arms, men that are going to die in order to take over these firms, generally it is even if it's the country or the business is smaller than them. Generally, it is much more profitable to that business to cooperate with the other business as opposed to.
No, because there's no comparative advantage. There's no comparative advantage.
There's no comparative advantage between.
Yeah, there's no
private
comparative
companies.
advantage for Apple to be trading with fucking BlackBerry or Nokia.
But they
what is
do
the
it all the
comparative
time.
advantage there?
But they do it all the time.
What's the comparative advantage that BlackBerry has? What's the comparative advantage that Nokia has over Apple? Why are Nokia and BlackBerry comparatively larger than Apple if they have a comparative? They don't. That's the thing.
No, I don't know the
In
specific
America, where
reason in
America
that. I don't
does
know.
have
I may not just
incentives to
because I
invade
don't know
other
the
places,
specific.
we're doing it.
Just because I don't know the specific reason in that specific case doesn't
You
mean
don't
that
know
it
the
is
specific
that.
because there isn't a specific.
Whoa,
There's not a
hello,
reason.
whoa. Can I finish my statement? You have a hard time letting people
After
finish their
testing,
statement.
yeah, go ahead, man.
So, yeah, just because I can't give you a specific reason in that specific case doesn't mean that comparative advantage does not exist in those cases. I mean, if it was the case that Apple would have more profit by just invading those other people, then they would have just done so. Fuck the state. Why don't they just do so already? Also, if that was true, it would also apply to the
It's
state.
enforcing law. That was retarded.
Yeah, but that would also apply to the state. Why doesn't it also apply to the state?
Bro,
There's tons of large states.
Just connect the dots for yourself. Why doesn't that happen? Because there's a state that's preventing it, right?
Okay, but there
you
would be
kind of
private.
see
There
how
could
the
be private
hermeneutic
rights
works.
enforcement agencies in a free market system, right?
Yeah, but the issue there is private rights enforcement agencies can only
So they could just
enforce
do
your
the
private
same
rights.
thing. They
can't-
could just do the same
No,
thing that the state is
that's
doing.
not how
and
that
then
works.
They could
They can
dissuade
enforce
people
Apple's
from.
private rights in regards to intellectual property and other things. They cannot enforce
We don't
Apple's
believe in
rights
intellectual
in regards to
property.
rights.
Intellectual property is
But
stupid.
you're talking about an estate. You brought up private rights in relation to a state. Now you're not tracking.
My
KingSithis.
only argument when I brought up the state was to show that when there's large states next to smaller states,
What did you bring up private rights
they
in
don't
relation
always
to?
immediately evade the other state because there's
Why did
what
you
we
just
call,
invoke private
because
rights?
there's the idea of what we call comparative advantage, and I said that also applies to private businesses as well, and it actually applies more so because they have a profit incentive, and a profit
Not
incentive.
private businesses existing in the same market, bro. There's no comparative advantage for Apple to trade
So
with
there's
Nokia
no
because
comparative
Apple's competing
advantage
with
between
Nokia.
private businesses and a free
You
market.
couldn't name one. Yeah, not private businesses in the same sector because they're competitors. They're direct competitors. The only reason
So
comparative advantage
private
exists on the
businesses in a-
geopolitical scale is because when the UK can trade France silver at a comparatively lower price, and so France can produce silver, France is incentivized to buy that silver, right? That's not going to happen with Apple and Nokia because they're producing the same thing.
Yes, but that's
You're
only
confusing
true
comparative
because
advantage.
that's only true because they have what we call patents and things like that, where everything is created generally by one company because they have the monopoly over the whole system. But
No,
under
they're
a
creating
non,
the same thing,
because
though.
but
So
in
you're
a
not-
not,
that's
but
what you
in a
don't get.
but in a but in a
But-
not. Yeah, but you're not
Turning
letting
into
me finish
Billy
my
Clinton there.
sentence. You're not even letting me finish my
You're
sentence.
not saying anything coherent. They're
Okay,
they're
then-
literally they're producing the same.
Okay, so basically what ends up happening is in a patent-free environment, what you would end up seeing, as opposed to one company creating all the products by themselves, you would see them offshoot the creation of a lot of their goods to smaller companies, and those smaller companies, as opposed to just taking over them, what you would end up seeing is them cooperating with them because they have a profit motive to do so. Just because there may not be a profit motive to compete with every single business in every single sector of the economy does not mean that comparative advantage does not also apply to private businesses. Volume is back up.
KingSithis, right now what you're doing is you're saying that, even if Apple is producing smartphones, they still need to, facilitate the transportation of smartphones to people. If they're like giving that to Amazon, it doesn't mean that they're ceding their monopoly to Amazon. It means that they are maintaining a monopoly and they're using other companies' monopolies to do different things that they don't do. Right? You see that was kind of stupid.
The only reason why they have the only reason why they have a monopoly is because they take advantage of patent laws that give them this monopoly. What I was saying is that if we got rid of those patent laws, you wouldn't see every single company taking large control over large sections of the market like you do now. So you see Apple, which takes up a large portion of the market. The reason why that is because they have a patent on the iPhone. They're the only company that's allowed to create iPhones. Whereas if we got rid of intellectual property rights and all of this dumb patent laws and all of this dumb regulations, you would see multiple different companies creating multiple different phones, and you would see more comparative advantage happening because you wouldn't be seeing these large companies taking large swaths of the economy because they won't have this what you call intellectual monopoly that allows them to get ahead of their competitors.
KingSithis, you're not really saying anything, right? So I did establish initially, right? You must not have heard. I established initially that this example with Apple and Nokia and BlackBerry is happening in an anarcho-capitalist society, right? I don't understand why you're trying to draw the subtle equivocation between patent laws which aren't going to obviously exist in an anarcho-capitalist society to make our argument work for you. It just seems like you're not tracking the principles that we kind of predicated this conversation on.
Anarcho-capitalism, under anarcho-capitalism, there would be no patent laws because patent laws
exactly.
violate
So why are you
property
bringing
rights.
patent laws?
Because patent laws are the reason. Because patent laws are the reason why you see these large corporations like Apple and BlackBerry and these large corporations basically taking up a large swath of the economy.
Right, we're not talking about that.
If we didn't have all of these patents and intellectual property laws to basically make it so that all of these companies have an edge over the other ones and using force, then you wouldn't see all of these large companies taking up large swaths. You wouldn't actually see large companies that much at all. You would see
in an anarcho-capitalist society. This is a hypothetical, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you understand it's a hypothetical. So how are we going to prevent this from happening?
Oh, well, what you do is you get rid of intellectual property laws. You get rid of regulations.
No. This is an anarcho-capitalist society. Those don't exist.
What do you mean?
I'm saying that bro, we have not been having the same conversation to this. You're actually lost in the fucking
If there's no regulation, what's stopping other people from competing with Apple and all these other companies?
Yeah, Apple, which is fucking enforcing.
Are they using force?
Yes.
Then
That's what I said like 10 minutes ago.
Then we're not talking about a free market.
No, I'm saying that this is what a free market is going to logically devolve into.
Okay, if that's what you think, that's another argument. That's a different argument. But the argument that I made...
This is the argument that I've been making this entire time, you fucking idiot, bro. Lock in.
I know it's really hard. But the argument that I was making...
that this is...
I'll lower your volume again. So the argument that I was making wasn't that in a market in which people have the ability to force other people to do what you want, there's going to be monopolies that form. Yeah, of course, when people are able to force other people to do what they want, they can form monopolies. But in a free market where people aren't able to, just forcefully extract wealth from other people and put regulations down, you will not see any natural monopolies. And if you do believe that there will be a natural monopoly, then you got to give me some sort of maybe theoretical way that a person could become a natural monopoly without using the force of the state or becoming a criminal organization.
Is my volume turned up now?
Yes.
So I'm asking you, how does an anarcho-capitalist society prevent that from happening?
Competition.
That is just what's logic. So how is competition going to prevent me, as Apple, and I've already cornered the market, I already have...
Because there's no intellectual property. I could just copy your product. Yeah, there'll be no IP. I could just copy your product.
Yeah, okay, but I already have all of the infrastructure necessary. Do you think you can copy my own?
There's already existing warehouses. You could just pay a warehouse. People could just pay a warehouse. If we got rid of intellectual property right now, if we got intellectual property,
you're not answering my question.
Okay, I'll just lower your volume.
How is
again.
that?
If we got rid of intellectual property completely, there would be no way, there would be nothing unless you used force. There would be no way for you to stop me from recreating the product that you're selling. The only way in which you can stop me from recreating the product that you're selling is by using force, either by the state or by some sort of criminal organization.
Prevents that from happening? What prevents an anarcho-capitalist society from devolving into something like that?
Oh,
There's profit
competition.
incentive.
Competition in the market for defense.
So everybody else is just gonna, agree that this one person who has, comparatively bigger market share of X industry is going to, gang up on this other guy and, make sure he doesn't, shoot Nokia. Doesn't really make sense.
It may not make sense to you because you haven't read much ANCAP literature, but basically, and what we have in generally under anarcho-capitalism, right? If you apply the principles consistently, what you will have is multiple.
I'm saying what's keeping the principles
what you will
in
have,
place?
what you will have is the multiple free market competing firms.
You can keep appealing to these principles, but I'm asking you, what's enforcing these principles?
The competition in the market of defense.
At the end of the day, right?
Competition in the market of defense.
Competition in the market of defense?
Yeah.
So different people have different samurais? So if I have 2 samurais and you have 1, what's going to stop me from killing your samurai and then killing you?
Competition in the market of defense.
Yeah, okay, well, I've just given you an example, in a vacuum, the competition of market
Yeah,
defense.
like if you're talking about 2 people on an island, like, yeah, obviously that person is screwed. But when we're talking about in a society, a larger society where there's hundreds of people and much more people than just 2 people on an island, you can have multiple competing private insurance agencies that you pay to insure your goods and services against other people and from violence and torts.
Insurance agencies to protect you from violence?
Yeah, what they could do is, just read,
Are
what you never heard of
provide
David
samurai?
Friedman? He has a really good book, The Machinery of Freedom.
Okay, let's
Where he goes over it.
Yeah, you insure your property. So that would protect it against
financially.
That could protect you against violence.
So basically, you know what an
Okay,
so I guess in America we have what we call car insurance, right? So like if you've ever, I don't know if you ever had a car, but basically how car insurance works, right, is that if somebody crashes into your car, right, or you get into an accident, you basically pay every so often into this insurance company, and then they will insure your property, your car, against some sort of violence, whether it be somebody crashing into you or you getting into an accident. If that person crashes into you, they will find out a way to extract that money, and they will pull the money from that pool of money that everyone's paying into in order to give you back whatever has been stolen or destroyed from you. And that can apply to criminal disputes between 2 individuals. And then
the only reason that liquidity pools and insurance agencies exist is because they're syndicalized and they're monopolized. You get profit incentive for it to exist. And also,
no,
I don't even know
so.
why it would be prudent for an insurance agency.
So you're saying that the only way an insurance could work is if you have a state?
I'm saying that the only reason that insurance industries work currently is because they're syndicalized and they get state funding. What do you think happens when there's natural disasters?
Yeah, why would they need any of that?
Why would they need that?
Like,
because that's how they maintain their liquidity pool.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to maintain a liquidity. There's plenty of ways to maintain a liquidity pool. There's plenty of ways to maintain a. Whoa! Excuse. All right, I'll lower your volume again. There's plenty of ways to maintain a liquidity pool without violating people's property rights.
It's not productive because you're a fucking retard. I hope these people go and kill themselves later.
Dude, like I was just trying to make one statement and he just kept interrupting over and over and over.
Why do we get these fucking snarky pieces of shit? These passive-aggressive fucking idiots.
I don't know, bro. It just blows my mind.
I literally want them to burn it.
Immediately, or virtually immediately. That's why.
What do you think about it?
It's because you don't get rid of them immediately or virtually immediately. If you were to if you had gotten rid of them, for example, in the first couple of minutes, that would have solved the problem. And they're probably discourage other people from who are like that from coming in here as well. They get kicked out quick.
Yeah, maybe I need to mute people more often. I'm just so tired of nitwits, honestly. Yeah, midwits.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean by a midwit, right?
Yeah.
I'm just so over it.
I don't know. It's not like we get
Someone
that
who's not very bright, I assume, and it doesn't really understand.
No,
or
it's a
doesn't
person
want to
that's a
understand.
mid IQ person, but they think they're super smart. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Dunning-Kruger
okay.
effect. They're people that, like, for instance, like, I'll give an example of what happened earlier. Like, and I was like, dude, you're mid-witting me right now. So basically, like, I said, because of patents, Disney doesn't allow other people to copy Mickey Mouse, right? But you understand what I'm saying when I say that, right? You get what I mean when I say that. But obviously,
yes,
to a midwit, they hear that and they say, oh, patents? Don't you mean copyright? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, dude, I don't have patience for a dumbass who's gonna sit here and fucking argue over something that is completely that has nothing to do with the conversation. Like, you clearly understand the spirit of what I'm trying to say, but you're just trying to obfuscate because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like a perfect example. Like, they
like pedantry.
Yeah,
like
it's
they're
just
pretty pedantic. Like I don't know why. They get caught up on like little details. Like
it's like clearly you know what I meant when I said, you know, oh, patents restrict people from using Mickey Mouse, right? Like, you know, obviously I meant intellectual property. Like, obviously I'm talking about the concept of intellectual property, but because I made that mistake by saying patents, the topics went from intellectual property to, oh, you use the word patents instead of intellectual property. Like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like that's just midwit behavior. Yeah, and it's just midwit behavior.
Yeah. I understand what you're actually. What you're saying is, sorry. What you're saying is basically that because the government, like, it's a government-created monopoly on intellectual property, which wouldn't be able to be enforced effectively in a narco-capitalist society. Because again, how would REAs, even if the ANCAP society really did want to enforce intellectual property, how the heck would they do it?
Yeah.
Like,
they couldn't stop. I mean, how could they stop me from using my own property? Like, unless there was like some sort of crazy arrangement with some sort of HOA or something like that. I don't know. But honestly, I'm probably just gonna call it a night.
I guess if everyone agreed to it, like, yeah, it would require. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, but William,
I don't know.
What do you think about that debate? You thought it was stupid?
Oh, the patent. That's right. The monopoly one.
Well, just the debate in general.
Yeah, I thought a lot of it was dumb. The one person who was making arguments about the road thing, I think you should have used the Blockian proviso against them. Basically, you can't surround someone's property, and like possibly.
Dude, that argument
that
was
one
so
guy.
like
You should have said
over that argument. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was so over like that conversation with him by the time he got to that argument. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but go ahead, let's continue. What were you saying?
Understood.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just more of a future feedback thing.
Yeah.
I would have recommended saying that you can't homestead the area around someone's home and then imprison them there. You could use the alter block for that. Also apply on own properties according to block, but that would be the obvious thing. Right. It's like, even if we grant that, those people like do have a right to like those specific areas, well, like, okay, given that there are roads there and that there really aren't any other ways to get out of the area, well, you have to use the road, and that like the community would still be obligated to have like specific areas to like what's it called, like, to allow people to exit their home. You can't just like imprison them there, and therefore you wouldn't have like what's it called, you wouldn't have that kind of rights. There wouldn't be a rights violation. Sorry, you wouldn't be violating anyone's rights by doing that, and therefore the objection that why don't use the roads objection against libertarianism is doubly stupid because of the fact that what's it called? It's doubly stupid because of the Blockian proviso. It also completely destroys Hoppa's position on immigration. But like, even if you were to grant like that like Hoppa's general, like even if you were to ignore the whole the super individualized demand for like a specific victim, you still wouldn't be able to get the Hoppa's position under strict anarcho-capitalist libertarianism, and even under classical liberalism, more like my position, you'd still have a more difficult case to make to like justify what Hoppa wants to justify, as opposed to just like some immigration restrictions. It's a whole other longer topic.
All right, Cam, any final words on that?
Yeah, I guess as to like what that guy Godgift earlier was saying way earlier about like, can you like homestead all the roads around the person's house or whatever and then trap them? Like, that would just be a case of forestalling if you're like trying to trap them in there like that, because then you're effectively trying to exclude them from their house in a sense. Like if you, for example, if you want to invite people to your house, but you have to like get their permission, well then they're trying to control who you may invite, which they're not allowed to do because it's not their property. It's interesting because he wanted to bring up forestalling with regard to like public property and like, oh, you're forestalling homesteaders by it's actually the dumbest subject. You're forestalling homesteaders by like driving on the public road. It's like, wait a second, he recognizes, or if we accept, I'm pretty sure he recognized that this is unowned, right, such that it can be homesteaded. Well, then you're not violating anyone's rights by driving on it because it's unowned, right? And it's interesting he brought up forestalling there, but then failed to recognize.
Yeah, like if
it's forestalling if you try to trap someone in their house by quote unquote homesteading all the roads around their house, which would be illegitimate appropriation, actually, I think.
Yeah, I know Liquid Zulu had a pretty funny debate. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but he had a pretty funny debate with some guys about donut homesteading. You know what I mean? About that.
Yeah, that was.
The guy was like having like a really hard time understanding like the debate, like the whole debate. I felt like it was really frustrating when I was watching that, because I was like, I feel like this is such a simple thing to understand, but some people, they just, I don't know, bro, they just overthink shit too much, you know? I don't know. But maybe I'm just a low IQ.
I guess the thing with the thing that's ridiculous. I think one of the other issues the guy has is that he's ignoring the fact that it'd be like arguing. I don't know if he was aware of the fact. He seemed to have some knowledge of libertarian views. He spoke with certain like awareness of concepts, but like he misunderstood some things that were very fundamental. But like in this case, the big misunderstanding he had was that like I don't know if he's aware of the fact that libertarians view like public property as you can like prove specific links between individuals and pieces of it as like unowned. And therefore, like, it would be akin to like objecting that like me running down an unowned like beach is preventing people from homesteading it or something, or if I was like, taking a big vehicle across it or something. It's ridiculous. It's not how that works. And again, it would literally cause like it would literally make all homesteading impossible. It's an absurd rule that doesn't work at all. And yeah, it's just utterly ridiculous. And yeah, it's not something I support whatsoever as like an objection. So yeah, it's the forestalling actually supports you, not him. It doesn't work in his case, and the other case tried to use it actually would undermine him. So yeah, there'd be no way to get around it. What do you guys think about that stupid argument the one guy was making? What do you guys think about the argument that the one guy was making, where he was like, he didn't believe it's self-defense or some shit like that? I basically got him to admit that like.
I already pointed out to him.
Oh, that was so low IQ.
I already pointed out to him that like, if he thinks the state ought to do that, or he did say he thinks the state ought to defend people or retaliate in the name of people, well then, trivially it means they must have the right to, because if they don't have, unless he's like, I don't understand how he was understanding rights then, because if somehow the state didn't have the right to do that, there's no sense in which he could like he could logically also think that they ought to do that. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I think
that argument didn't make any sense to me.
I think he's confused about what rights are, or he's just
and like obviously
being
I'm not. I think the issue is that like he doesn't recommend the objectivist case. As I told him, I don't even fully get it myself. But like I know enough about him. That's not what objectivists believe. Like, I shared objectivists say multiple times that like, criminals don't have rights, and like if you actually push them, they'll say, well, no, they only forfeit like in proportion to what they've done. But like they 100% believe that like they talk about like rights as like they do. Actually, the particular thing is objectivists hate the idea that rights are innate. They completely say no, not all people have rights. Like they think criminals don't have rights. They think the preborn don't have rights, and their argument is it's not about being a human. It's about like specifically how existing in specific relations. You have to be like a certain amount independent. I'm not sure how they'd handle dicephalic twins. How you pronounce that? Because they're people that are connected by like specific organs they both share. But like, but in general, they think. Yeah, there's a specific form of it where like they're connected, like Abigail and Brittany Hensel. I'm probably butchering their exact names. They're connected by like specific organs both of them share in common. It's actually an issue somewhat with the whole like libertarian systems that you keep.
That's an interesting like.
Are you talking about like a conjoined twin?
Actually, I'm gonna think about that.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because like
somebody,
Walter
that's
Block
what
is
we
right
call
now.
I actually asked Liquid Zulu about that, you know, funny enough, and what he told me, it was a while ago, but he says something along the lines of something in his course, or he pointed to something in his course where he was basically saying that, you know how if two people grab the same stick, right, at the same time, the person...
It's like a stalemate.
It's a stalemate, right? So he basically described a person who is conjoined, basically, in a stalemate. Their body, the body part that they control, right, is theirs. But the body part that is together, you know, like, you know, conjoined, I guess you could say, right? That would be, what was the word again?
Stalemate?
A stalemate. Yeah. It's a stalemate. Basically, they're in a stalemate. Basically.
So, like, who did he answer? Like, who would have the right? Who has the right? Is it like? I guess it depends on what exactly
they would have
we're
the right
like
to
an organ.
They would have the right to. I mean, any of the and both of the parties would have the right to separate from the other party at any point. Like, if one of them wants to separate from the other party, they would have that right.
What if that means like death?
And
for both of them, or one of the other, like, or
if it
imagine
means death for the other one, that's kind of not your fault. You know what I mean? That's how he said.
Is it because?
Well, because it's like
Oh, is that like kind of related to like the whole thing with abortion, with like evictionism, where it's like the mother has the right to evict a fetus, which is technically a trespasser.
Yes.
So, and even if it dies, but in this case, you have the right to separate, even if it means the death of the other person.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
I guess 100%. I would accept. I guess I'd probably accept that. Like.
Yeah, that was a question that I did ask him, and he basically said that yeah, they're at a stalemate, and then if one wants to separate or evict the other one, to put it in those terms, right? Then that person has the right to do that. You know what I mean? And you know, it could mean the death of that person, but you know, that's just unfortunate for that person. You know, they don't. You know, that's just.
I mean, I would definitely try to see if you could, like, if you could, like, specifically, like, insofar as, like, you take, I know Cameron doesn't, but for Sithis, you seem to, if you could, like, specifically, like, try to, like, deduce the more specific specific principles, like, directly from argumentation, like, specifically apply, like, the issue of, like, the twins arguing among each other about what should happen, like, whether they can, like, serve or whether they can, like, you know, if one of them wants to unalive themselves and they want to, like, inject poison into themselves, even if that will, like, whether poison will go into the other person or whether it will just go into one person and rotting will kill the other person. If that's allowed, you could ask those kind of questions from the, if they were arguing, would they both be presupposing norms that require them to not be harmed? If they were arguing with other people, presumably they would have like a mutual right to exclude other people, even if it's hard to resolve it among themselves. There'd be all sorts of questions like that as to kind of like how you could like more directly relate your theory of rights to the conclusion or the source of it. That's to the specific conclusions you take on it. Because I'm not sure if you could actually maintain traditional libertarian. I don't think you could maintain that position.
Well, I feel like for the first question for like injecting something into you, you would have the right to. I feel like all the principles to what you could do to the other person would basically be the same as if it was a baby, like an evictionist, right? Stance, essentially. So if you have a baby
Like you're not
inside of,
allowed to directly kill. You're not allowed to just like straight up kill the other person because that would like be murder. Like just to like shoot one of the conjoined twins in their head or something like that.
no,
But
yeah, you're
and
allowed
that
to
same would
remove
go
that
for
person.
like the same would go for like, as I understand, like evictionism. Like you can't just like straight up abort the fetus.
Now, if
I
you
don't know
do
if that
something
goes
to
for,
your
like,
body,
the-
I know that some people make the argument if you do something to your body that it results in the harm of that person, it's because they're on your body, and it doesn't because they're, I guess, quote unquote trespassing. You're not necessarily killing them. You know,
Who's
what I mean?
trespassing on
Or
who?
murdering
In
them.
the case of the twins.
I guess it would be
Yeah,
a
but
stalemate.
who's trespassing
You know, I
on
guess
who?
it's not really trespassing. It would just be like a stalemate. You know what I mean? And whoever wants to use, they both have the right to use their body in any way they want, even if it might affect the. I don't know, but that's actually a
Wait, they
pretty
can't
interesting
both
question.
have the right to do anything they want. That seems like it would generate.
But it would be.
some
I guess they would have the right to do anything they want with their part of the body, right? They just.
Yeah, but then it seems like the whole. It seems like it's like more loose when it comes to like, okay, like what if they
The
share
connected
some
part.
organ? Like, what if there's an internal organ? I don't know exactly how it works, but we could. That's probably something where it's like an internal organ. They both technically, like, both their bodies used to survive or whatever. It's like, could we really say either? Maybe again, it just comes down to it being some kind of stalemate. But it's like, yeah, they could, because they couldn't. It doesn't seem like they could both have the right, because like that would be some kind of collective ownership, which like.
So like that would be an interesting question to propose. Like, so I guess the question would be, let's say there's two people, they're conjoined twins. Would it be a rights violation for one of them to say like smoke meth if it affects the other person?
Yeah, I'll have to talk to this about ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's a good question.
How are you?
Maybe I should ask ChatGPT that question. Let me see what it says. All right.
It has to understand like all the nuance
I'm
stuff.
not 100% against the idea of.
Against the idea of what?
Yeah, I like to use this case as like an argument. I still gotta like fully work it out as like an argument against it. You can't have
From
like
an
some forms of
anarcho-capitalist
collective property.
perspective.
Now the norms involved in it are complicated.
It says anarcho.
I think
From an anarcho
collective property, like
capitalist.
I think like in the naive sense of both people just like exclusively own something, that's obviously like, well, I think that's obviously
In the case
nonsense,
of
because if rights are
conjoined
exclusive,
twins.
then two people can have like the same right to, or the right to exclude each other. But I think because I was thinking about this, I think like some sort of quote unquote collective property setup where it's like some kind of legal arrangement where you have like the delegation of like specific rights at different times amongst a group of people. I think something like that is probably possible, but that's like obviously like way more nuanced than like, oh, we both just like simplicity.
Okay, so here's what ChatGPT says. Okay, so from a strict
did you ask?
I asked it from an anarcho-capitalist perspective. In the case of conjoined twins, would it be a rights violation for one of them to smoke meth or do something that affects the other one's body, their body? I feel like that's a good question to ask, right? Good way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so from a strict anarcho-capitalist perspective, the answer is no. If one twin smokes meth and does anything that enters the bloodstream and that substance necessarily affects the other twin, then they are imposing physical effect on the other without consent. That fits the definition of aggression, not because drug use is inherently wrong, but because it's done in a way that invades someone else's body. If you inject something into your own bloodstream, fine, that's self-ownership. If you inject your bloodstream is physically shared and what is injected necessarily enters another person's body, you no longer just acting on yourself. At that point, it becomes analogous to poisoning someone, even if it's unintentional.
I got another case for you that I think can illustrate the point about like
that's what ChatGPT says.
Like them both be. Okay, I'm talking about a different case.
Yeah.
Like if you have a situation where, like, for example, they both have like the same sexual organs shared in common. Presumably, both of them need to consent. So they together would have the right to exclude the rest of the world from it. Correct?
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, like you could have a thing where like people where like a group of people like.
I feel like they would be at a stalemate at that point. Like,
You need both their consent, presumably, right? Like you couldn't be like, you know, like if I for example had some kind of nightmare situation where I married one of them or both of them, I would need to get both of their consent before sleeping with them, correct?
For having sex with them? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think I can't imagine having sex with conjoined twins and not like necessarily also having intercourse with both of them. It seems like you would have to having intercourse with both of them, given that their bodies are like they're part of the same body or their bodies are conjoined or whatever. KingSithis, what do you?
Yeah, I was the specific sexual organs like
I don't know,
that
man.
I'm like interacting with
That's
would
a
be
tough
like
ass question, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to answer.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a question.
I could maybe give you my
like,
best
I was
answer,
really
right?
thinking it's like that justifies collective property.
No, I guess I could give you my
I think
best
I have
answer.
an answer. I think I can get around this. Like,
Here, you go first, Cam. Maybe I want to think about it.
No, hold on. I have to read this from ChatGPT first. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I tell ChatGPT I've been writing this like thing and it's kind of long about like property rights and like I basically just like give ChatGPT the whole thing and I want to see how it answers based on it.
Basically, I don't know. I guess I would say, you would have the right to do whatever you want with it, so long as it doesn't. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I guess you would have no choice but to, shit, dog. I don't even know, bro.
The obvious answer would be you'd have to get both of their consent. If you think of like an argumentation ethics standpoint, if I'm arguing with them, or one of them or both of them, like the obvious answer would be, like, you know, that like, you know, you'd be presupposing their right to like not be infringed upon and so on and so forth. Of course, it's complicated in an argument between the two of them, but there would certainly be norms when it comes to arguments between the two of them about things like, you know, you can't like destroy yourself, otherwise that wouldn't be possible to sustain an argumentation and so on and so forth. But like, you would definitely have like it'd be complicated. Yeah, I think the rule would generally have to be the case that you'd have to like get both their permission. But yeah, it's a really complicated case because it's like, yeah, it throws off the typical stuff because, like, presumably the obvious answer would be you get both their permission if someone else is going to do something to a shared organ of theirs. But like, yeah, and that seems to suggest that in some sense there is a collective property, at least in relation between them versus everyone else.
In the case of two people who are connected with each other and they have both the same penis, right? But would one be allowed to jerk off? Ask the question.
It's a burning question.
In the case
That's actually not the question I'm asking. It's not exactly the question I'm asking. I'm asking a slightly different question, actually.
Oh, well, I thought that was what you were asking.
It's not actually. I'm asking like someone. I'm asking like if someone else wants to interact.
We got the perfect guy here. We got the perfect guy here.
Hey.
Were you listening to what we were talking about?
No.
Oh, bro. Okay, so we're talking about conjoined twins.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, in the case of conjoined twins, what do you think? Let's say there's two conjoined twins, and one of them like wants to do meth, right? Would that be an aggression to the other one?
I guess so.
Yeah, right? Okay.
I'm not like not entirely sure on that. If like they're conjoined twins.
That's a tough question. Yeah, I was completely confused. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of confused on it. I was like, I don't know.
There's probably some easement thing going on here, but I'm not sure.
Well, actually, okay, so Liquid Zulu, I was talking to Liquid Zulu once, right? And I did ask him about conjoined twins once. Now, I didn't ask him this specific question, but I asked him, like, in the case of conjoined twins, who's the self-owner? And he basically told me that they're in a stalemate, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I figured too, yeah. Sounds about right.
That basically one of them wants to separate from the other one. You know, they would have the right to do that. But in the case of the, like, if they're they have, like, a same body part, you know, like, let's say they share the same penis or something like that. Like, would one be able to just jerk off, you know what I mean? Jerk the dick off, like, whenever they want? Like, whose dick would it be? You know,
Or
would
could,
it
like,
be...
Also, what more?
Yeah, there would be a
how would they
stalemate.
relate to another group person?
So neither would be able to do something without the other party's, like, consent, I guess. You would be initiating some conflict, like, the second you would do that, right? And then you would go out of a stalemate. But I'm not sure what exactly would happen after that.
Yeah, because, like, isn't the idea with, like, stalemates, I remember, like, there's a typical example, an easier example where it's like, okay, two people are trying to grab a stick, like, we just stipulate that it's at the exact same time, they're both trying to homestead it. The first person to initiate conflict or stop trying to homestead it, they give up the right and the other person attains the right. But then it becomes a case of, like, okay, like, what if one of the twins, like, starts jerking off, and then the other person's like, oh, I don't want that to be done. Like, would they somehow, like, the person initiating conflict, like, it seems like in principle they would, like, somehow cede the right to the penis, but, like, I don't even know what that exactly would mean in this case. They never, like,
yeah, that's...
Is that not what follows? Like, I'm not sure.
Well, the thing is, right?
I don't think so.
Because in the case, I think, okay, so, like, in the case of, the guy, I think what the analogy that Liquid Zulu was giving, right, was that the other person pushed the other person off the stick. So the person who got pushed off, that person is the owner. But that's assuming they're separating from the object itself, right? But in this case, they're not. Right? Like, the one guy's jerking off, and he is committing a conflict, right? Or initiation of a conflict, right? But it's not separating. They're not separating, right? So, does that change anything?
I don't think it would change anything. He's just, like, allowed to end the conflict, I guess. But I don't think Trexamon will have a good answer to that either. That's a weird one.
You never know.
Trexamon, have you been listening to what we've been talking about?
I just joined.
Oh, gotcha.
So
okay, so what we're you want to go, Cam?
No, you can probably say better than me.
Okay, so basically, what we're talking about is in the case of conjoined twins, who is the owner of the body? And then we were talking about, like, the stalemate situation, right? Now we're talking about, then we kind of talked about, like, let's say there's a twin, and one of them wants to jerk off their penis, and the other one doesn't want them to jerk off their penis. Like, the person who initiates the aggression, would that then cede the right to the penis to the other person?
Let me think. I think if it's like conjoined twins in the sense that it's like two heads, one body, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So you don't get like a side to yourself.
And there's third organ specifically.
I would say that they're probably unowned, and whoever homesteads it owns it.
What does homesteading look like?
But wait, they can't homestead it
I
if they're
don't
still
know.
combined, right? Like they can't.
Well, I mean,
well, they homesteaded their
probably
own part of
go
the body.
unowned, and whoever homesteads it. I don't know how you go about homesteading. I don't know your heart, but.
Well, you don't
Or
homestead
the
it. You're
heart.
just the owner of your body because of you have the best claim to it. So I guess if you're initiating an aggression on the person's penis, you're the first initiation, then I would say that you can maybe make the argument that maybe you're giving the other person who's not aggressing a better claim to the penis than the person who is aggressing. Wouldn't you say that maybe?
No, I don't think it's aggressing though. I think if you're going to, I think jacking off is probably an act of homesteading.
Wait,
What?
but like if the other person's not consenting to it, then like that seems like an issue, right?
Well, if
But,
the
like-
other person's not consenting, they should have homesteaded the penis first.
But like bodies aren't homesteaded, like that's impossible, right? Like the whole point of like ownership of bodies is that it's because your will is like inherently tied to your body, right? It's the best link.
Yeah.
Like, you're not homesteading the body because homesteading implies it was unowned prior and then you homestead it.
Yeah, you're
but
just
I don't
the
see
owner.
how that's going on because like if your will is like if your action is like interchangeably tied with the resource in question, then that's what self-ownership is, right? But I don't like see how that I don't see what you're homesteading here because your will is like interchangeably tied to it immediately. That was Rothbard's case against voluntary slavery, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I agree with that. This is an interesting issue.
Who has the
Who
right to
brought this
jerk
up?
it?
Hey, who brought this
I mean,
up?
Well, actually, I think William did, but then I kind of added to it.
Okay. What if we
Yeah,
just
that
we
wasn't
just
that
split
wasn't
the
my
body
original
in half?
example, but like it was somewhere
Right.
I brought up.
You
My
just
example
split-
was actually more related to like what happens like if another person like wants to. My original case was actually a woman, not a man. But like if someone if it's like a woman who's basically two women who are conjoined twins, they have the same reproductive organs in common. If another person wants to sleep with them, they have to get both of their permission, presumably. And I was using this as an example of illustrating that they actually kind of do have, so collectively speaking, rights to exclude everyone else from shared organ, and therefore there is a sense in which libertarians would have to acknowledge collective property.
I don't know. I need to think about it.
I'm not sure it would be collective property, but I would say it's more
Wait, no.
stalemated property.
Wait, no. I would say that they own their different sides, and because for someone to have intercourse, right, it would necessarily trespass into the other person's side.
I think
Well, I
like
don't-
the issue.
What do you mean by like side? I think that's like sounds kind of like silly. I don't see how you're homesteading like or not homesteading, but how you own like one side of it, right? Because like your will is interchangeably set up with both, right?
I'm thinking of like the who are the conjoined twins who went to Epstein's Island. I'm thinking about those ones.
Is that a
They're
thing?
kind of right. Right. I'm thinking of this where each twin controls each side individually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
looking at a picture of these people or these little kids right now. Like they're conjoined. It's like there's two, like basically two whole bodies, but they're like connected at like I can't tell exactly, but they are connected.
Right.
I think
But,
like are you trying to say that like in these kind of cases it's like there's two people and they are constituted by like different organs and whatnot, and then but they're connected. Is that what you're getting at?
No, I mean I think what I'm getting at is that there's two people, right, and they each control one side, right, the side that their head's on, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that they own that side of the body.
But can they use that side without the other side? Like, can they use that side without using the other side?
I mean they can, but in the situation of the vagina, right, that would be cut down the middle, would it not? So, and because
I guess.
So and because right, for to have any penetration to occur, right, that would necessarily have to trespass onto both sides.
Yeah, but there are
We'll
parts
go
of the
through that.
body in which both of them are connected to, in which they can't control. Like there's people like who have the same heart or the same organs, the same penis.
I think like the
Oh,
hearts
well,
and like
it-
organs is just a stalemate situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a stalemate. I don't think anyone has the claim over it, right? But in I don't know. So maybe it's a stalemate. I don't know, but that I guess that is my reasoning without giving into, I guess, collective ownership.
We
right?
need
Is
to
that
call
they-
up Stefan Kinsella and ask him.
He
Well,
believes
no,
in group property, so that doesn't help.
collective
Oh,
ownership,
no!
So, yeah.
Let's
I
look
don't
at.
know. We need.
I think
are
we're
you
at
in
a
the
stalemate,
Ask
guys.
An ANCAP? Are you in the Ask an ANCAP YouTube Discord server?
Oh, the guy who runs it doesn't like me. He banned me from
He doesn't. Why doesn't he like you?
Prax, what's his name? Galazar?
Galazar, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like me. He banned me and blocked me from everything.
Wait,
Why?
what is this server?
What? Why?
Okay, so I don't know why. I was completely cool with him. I had no issue with him. I've never talked shit about him or anything like that. In fact, I've only spoke good about him. But you know when he got mad at me because, okay, so he had a Discord called or Talk About Anything or something like that. Talk It Out or something like that. And me and another person, I forgot his name, Lego's little butt buddy. Me and him had a little debate on there. Then afterwards, a guy named Hounding asked me if I wanted to have a debate with him while I was in his server. Me and him were we were in the VC, and I said yeah. And then, but he said, "Oh, I don't want to have the debate in this Discord. I want to have a debate in Lego's Discord." And then I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll debate you in his Discord." So I went and I did it. And then I guess Galazar got upset with me because I was a mod in his Discord, and he got mad because I set up a debate in his Discord outside of his Discord. Because it was a debate Discord, and he got mad at me about that. And then I told him, I was like, oh, well, my bad, like, you know. And then he blocked me on everything.
That sounds like an odd reason.
I mean, as far as I could tell, that's the reason why he did it. Because, I mean, I never said or did anything else to upset. I mean, I never talked shit about him. I've never said anything about him or anything like that. He just completely blocked me on it. I guess maybe he just didn't like me. I don't know.
But if he didn't like you, he wouldn't have made you mod, right?
He did make me mod for the Discord. In fact, I set up and I was talking nice about him. The guys were talking hella shit about him, and then I was like, nah, don't talk shit about him. You know, he's just you know, he's just very anal about, you know, the way he wants to do his debate style. Like I was trying to defend him, you know, like he was very particular, and like they were trying to say that he was an asshole or whatever. And then when I was defending him, I was like, nah, I don't think he's an asshole. Like I think he's pretty alright. And then I guess when I did the debate with Hounding, he got mad at me because I set up a debate that was in his Discord, that was outside of his Discord, and that he wanted, if I'm in his Discord, I have to set up a debate in his Discord as a mod, and if I didn't do that, he was mad at me, basically.
No.
So after that, I was
him.
I had no problem with him. I don't see why, you know. Maybe you guys should message him on my behalf and see what the fuck is the issue. Because I don't think I did anything wrong. But I mean, that's up to you though. I don't think I did anything wrong though.
That does sound odd.
Yeah, that is strange. Like, I'm just in the Ask ANCAP Discord server, and I don't think, and he just uses an account called Ask ANCAP. So.
Galazar we're talking about, right? And he has the 40k YouTube channel too.
He has a 40k YouTube channel.
He has another YouTube channel, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
But yeah, I don't think I did nothing wrong, personally.
Anyway, but I like the Asking Ink. It's with Liquid Zulu in there. I think it's a pretty good podcast.
I mean, as far as I can tell, me and Liquid Zulu are pretty cool. I went on his stream. Last time I went on his stream, I went in there and I was like, "Hey, yo, bro, Liquid Zulu, you're #1 ANCAP. I don't give a fuck what anybody says." And then he was like, "Hey, yo, KingSithis, like, yo, man, I remember you. You smoke a lot of weed," and like he made a joke. And then that was it.
Wait, which?
So me and Liquid Zulu are cool.
I remember that.
Me and Liquid Zulu, I met him at YaoCon, and
Oh, you actually met him in person?
yeah, I met him in person. I have a picture of me and him.
Hey, let's go.
And I have a picture.
Holy
with
aura.
Yeah.
Holy meetup.
And, yeah, I met him. He's a cool dude. He's a chill ass dude. You know, I had no problems with him. And I met Eduardo. I met all the other guys.
Cool.
And they're all cool guys. Yeah, no problems. I like. Liquid Zulu. I have a very soft spot in my heart for that guy because he's the one that showed me like cap stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I remember you left a comment on like Eduardo's thing when well, he wasn't debating he wasn't in the debate between Andrew Wilson and who's the other guy?
He was debating Divinity. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, he was debating Divinity, but Eduardo was hosting it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember you left a comment saying, "Oh,
right, yeah, I remember.
Thanks for
Libertarian
showing the
ethics.
superiority of the libertarian ethic, right?" And I said, "No, don't call them libertarians."
Well, you know what I was trying to say, like, what I was trying to, obviously he isn't 100% our kind of libertarian, but what I was happy, honestly, like what I meant by the comment was just like I really dislike Andrew Wilson for obvious reasons. I disagree with him a lot. Now I don't dislike him in the sense that I think he's a bad person or whatever. Like I just disagree with him on everything that he says, and I dislike his ideology and all that. And I don't like the way that he debates people sometimes. I feel like he could be like super semantic and makes dumb arguments. So when I saw Divinity debate him and completely smoke him, from my opinion, using, objectivist ethics, maybe I should have said objectivist ethics, but but I said libertarian ethics. But I don't know, it made me feel, it was like a breath of fresh air to see Andrew Wilson, like,
I think
it felt good.
Andrew Wilson, he doesn't know how to defend his own worldview or whatever. He just knows how to critique others. And once you're not a communist or a subjectivist or whatever, you're just great. Pog Frog, are you an ANCAP doggo?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't tell by the profile picture?
Yeah, no, I was like, who's this Belle Delphine guy? And I read your profile. I was like, and wait, are you in Cap? Okay, cool.
We got the gang back together again.
The gang back together. Wow. After my retirement of
the
debate.
master debaters.
Don't remind me.
Nah, you know what? Honestly, it's just been a while because I've been working a lot, honestly, and but I'm gonna try to do it. Like, try to come around here and live stream with you guys and debate with you guys and stuff, have talks and stuff, but like at least maybe once a week.
Well, I've retired from debate on Discord. Well, mostly. Yeah.
Maybe I should do like
I mainly take a mentor role now.
Maybe I should do a thing where like I come up with a bunch of topics or something, and maybe we could like talk about them or some shit. Make it like a little podcast.
Maybe.
Because I thought it was interesting talking about the conjoined twins.
Oh yeah, so
we'll
the
be
day
competing with the asking ANCAP people.
Wow, it's a free market.
I asked Grok about it. Not specifically. I didn't ask it as specifically libertarian. I asked like just in general, like how does the law handle it? How does like what's called this general like moral legal philosophies view it? And basically, Grok said in every single case, it's like if there's another person involved, you have to have both. If it's one person doing it to their own organs, you have to That you both consent. So yeah, specifically, this seems to be a pretty common view. But yeah, and he I call Grok he for whatever reason, but he mentioned the idea of joint property as well. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's. I don't know. It's a weird issue. I've heard about it before, but I haven't really given it much thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about this more.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna head to bed, guys. So
Oh yeah, heading to
See you around.
have a good night, everyone. It was good talking to y'all as always, and I'll see you guys all next time.
I didn't say anything yet, but bye, Sithis. We love you.
Oh, Duel! It's good to see you, man. Have a good one.
Everybody, we love Sithis, right?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Number 1 and Cap, except for the other guy. Liquid Zulu, of course. All right, I'll see you guys later.